Otherworld's Monster Breeder. Volume 4. Chapter 103, Suta Melting. It's the height of summer in Adelaide, this alternative world. The cicadas on the trees in the garden sing so much that it becomes annoying. Case Hyasota, was lying like a dead man on the edge of the well-ventilated house. It's hot. It's too hot. Damn it. It's times like this that I hate alternate worlds. For a gamer like me, this environment is unbearable. In the last battle against the Dragon Empress Kururu, we got 100 million coal, which is a lot of money. But no matter how much money it is, in this world, you can't even install an air conditioner in the room. Suta tilde. How long are you going to keep on lazing around? If this goes on, defeating the Demon Lord will only be possible in dreams tilde. If you say it like that, you just make it seem impossible. The name of the beautiful girl rolling beside me is Aphrodite. Aphrodite, with blonde hair and blue eyes, has a flawless appearance, although she is a self-proclaimed goddess of beauty. To borrow an old-fashioned expression, it's kind of brazen. Such a beautiful girl is lying in light clothes. Normally, I would have been turned on, but anyway, it was too hot right now for that. Master, is your back okay? The name of the beautiful girl who knelt down and called me respectfully was Carolina. Carolina, with her silver hair, red eyes and slim figure, exudes a charm that is different from that of Aphrodite. As expected from a cold beauty, even in the scorching heat, Carolina kept her style. Water storm. Next thing I know, my back's turned. I heard a familiar magic spell. A wind containing tiny grains of ice began to blow from the Carolina palm. Oh, great. That's great, Carolina. I've come you back to life. Seriously, it's getting cold. The grains of ice bump and tingle a bit, which is a bit uncomfortable, but it's quite bearable. I'm glad you're happy. I trained myself to control the intensity of the magic, and I was right to do so. Hey, Suta, that's cheating. Let me do that too. The range of Carolina's magic is only the size of a human. Aphrodite feels the fresh breeze and clings to my body, making it reach only her. How cool. You lazy goddess. Wind thief. Mujia. The wind only reaches Aphrodite as she presses her soft body against me. Normally, I would have been excited, but anyway, it was too hot right now for that. I'm sorry. I guess I embellished the story a little. To tell you the truth, I'm a little better now, but cooling my body is still a priority right now. I'm going to expand the scope of magic a little bit. The difficulty with this technique is that it requires a lot of concentration and can't be continued for very long. Carolina explained, apologizing, deftly extending the reach of the cool breeze for two people. It feels good tilde. As usual, Carolina is too competent. I wish I could get a certain goddess to be even 1/10 as talented as Carolyn. Caro, I want you to be with me always. What you should have in this other world is a competent maid. If Carolina is here, I feel I can spend the summer in this other world without air conditioning. Then something unexplainable happened. Somehow, Carolina's complexion became red as a tomato, and a gust of wind blew so hard that my body was involuntarily blown away. Gahua, fudger. Ouch, ouch, what in the world? Ice pebbles, which had grown to the size of a baseball, attacked me and Aphrodite. I'm so sorry. This magic requires very delicate control. I was so happy with the master's statement, my concentration accidentally faded. I wonder where there was such an element for her to getting like that in my statement. Carolina, who had failed in her magic, had a look of despair on her face, as if the world was going to be destroyed tomorrow. I was prepared for this to happen. Master, use this knife to cut my throat. How did it come to this? Carolina being so loyal makes me happy, but sometimes she gets out of control in a strange way. If it's so hot, why not go to the beach? The name of the girl who looks in our direction and made such a suggestion is Seal O'Telrid. Seal, with a small build of 5 feet, has the beauty of a pet. Right now, I'm in the process of having Seal make a certain tool for me. Seal, now, what? Yes. That is why the sea. On a hot day like this, you have to take a quick bath. Don't you think? Why didn't I realize how simple this was? The idea of going to the beach because it's so hot was never thought of by a non-traditional person like me in the first place. Yeah. So far I've wondered, how do you lock yourself in an air-conditioned room on a hot day? What was I thinking? Why is that? There's nothing fun about going to the beach by yourself. But, Nevertheless, it's different since I was summoned to the other world. Now there are lots of pretty girls who could go to the beach with me. Surrounded by pretty girls in swimsuits, the beach must be absolutely fun. Yes, tomorrow we'll go to the beach. This is the month of summer improvement. That's it. That's one thing I was wrong about. Sure, there's a lot to hate about summer, but it's not just a lousy season. I'm sure it's a lot of fun to see girls in swimsuits and then see more girls in swimsuits. Chapter 104, Legal Sexual Harassment. First of all, let me say that I'm not gay. I'm a straight guy who likes pretty girls in general. That's what I really want you to believe. I came as I promised. Case hire suitor. The sun was setting and the temperature in the room was dropping a bit now that it was later. I called the maid from the servants' room to my room. The name of the beautiful girl with the short skirt and plump thighs is Rust Drizati. She is the beautiful succubus girl who changed sex from a man to a woman, for a variety of reasons. Hey, Rust. You're wearing that, aren't you? Rust's cheeks blushed as she feebly shook her ass back and forth. Well, I guess we'll find out. Take your clothes off piece by piece. A monster tamer has the ability to give an absolute command to an enslaved demon. At my command, Rust slowly takes off her maid's clothes that she's wearing, albeit with shame. Damn it. What the hell is this? This underwear is. Rust screamed. The underwear I ordered her to wear has an embarrassing design that makes you want to congratulate yourself, saying I found something good. Her breasts were such that only the nipples were barely covered, and her ass was almost exposed. You're a goddamn hothead. Even though mentally I'm a man, you don't care who as long as they have a woman's body. No, number. You're a succubus, so don't call me a hothead. You're even reproaching me in that lewd outfit. Don't get the wrong idea. This is just a punishment to rehabilitate you. Rust often talks to others in a disrespectful tone of voice. Yeah, this is not meant to be erotic in any way. Being a man in the first place, it would be humiliating for Rust to wear erotic underwear. Rust, who ran a fraudulent casino and swindled many people out of their money, is a big sinner who should have been imprisoned under normal circumstances. That's why I encourage Rust to rehabilitate herself by punishing her in this way. Therefore, this is not in the erotic sense. Not at all. Okay, enough chit-chat. I wonder if you can rub my shoulders while you're like this. You're a. Rust grinds her teeth in frustration as I give my new order. Wow. Rust's massages are pretty good. I've been thinking about it for a long time. Rust is a versatile, home-skilled girl. From now on, I'll call her and have her massage my shoulders from time to time. Hey, Rust. Now what do you want? This girl. Don't tell me she hasn't noticed. That's right. Only recently did her body become a woman's body thanks to my demon combination skill, so she probably hasn't assimilated the distance between her and the opposite sex. However, even so, I am aware of it and her tits are pressing against my back. This is embarrassing. Number. I'm not a homosexual, so I can't be nervous at all. If anything, I don't like heroines with sincere attributes. I don't want to say anything about other people's inclinations, but I'm a little worried about the future as far as ears are concerned. I feel you, bro. Shit. Case hire suitor. One day I'm going to return this humiliation to you 100-fold. While I'm making all kinds of excuses in my head, Rust, who was rubbing my shoulders from behind, was declaring her resentment mentally thanks to my contact skill. Chapter 105, A Capable Man Juggles Work and Play. The next morning, I decided to stop by the Adventurers Guild before heading out to see where I had planned to go. Why? Just going to the beach is no different than going to play. If you're going to the sea, it would be efficient to take on related missions. Ha ha ha. Successful men are often able to balance work and play. Oh, yeah, it's true. My level had risen dramatically since I defeated the Dragon Empress Kuru in my last adventure. Case hire suitor. Job, Monster Tamer. Level 588 plus 12. Vitality 270 plus 8. Strength 99 plus 2. Magic 214 plus 6. Mana 3053 plus 60. Blessing Absolute Control. Skills: Capsule Ball, Appraisal Eyes, Demon Combination, Contact, Mental Manipulation, Borrowing skill. Enslaved monsters. Aphrodite. Carolina Burton. Silo Telrod. Yoko. Rust Drizati. Werewolf. Adamite Gillum. Kedamaro. Wyvern. Goblin Knight X15. Light Mash X6. Firefox X4. Mad Mash. No wonder she was division commander of the Demon Lord's army. The experience I gained from Kururu had raised my level all at once. I haven't raised my level in the last while, so it's a happy harvest. What kind of demons will we find on today's expedition? Now that I have more money and better stats, I'm going to enjoy my work as much as I can. Chloe Grice. Race, Kate Scythe. Age, 18. A quest to subjugate sea monsters. One moment, please. When I arrived at the guild, Chloe, the receptionist, was there to greet me as always. Chloe, the receptionist, is a beautiful high-class girl with a small body and semi-long black hair. The cat ears coming out of the top of her head are too dazzling. Oh, it's a bit risky, but there were quests like this. Emergency quest. Defeat the giant squid. Required grade, G. Condition of success. Defeat a kraken that appears on the Sala's coast. Reward, 15 million coal. Repetition. Not possible. Chloe pulled a request form from her file. The required grade is G. Same as before to defeat the cockatrice. Apparently, the emergency quest is prepared to allow any adventurer to participate. 0.15 million coal. Is this monster, the kraken, really that strong? The most lucrative mission I've ever done was 3 million coal. If you consider that even the B-grade cockatrice was 3 million, the kraken can be a strong S-grade opponent. Certainly, the kraken is a strong opponent. However, I believe its fighting ability itself is on par with the cockatrice Suta-san defeated earlier. So what's this reward for? The established reward amount is 5 times the amount of the same combat ability. There's more to it than meets the eye. The adventurers who have headed out to defeat the kraken on the Sala's coast have been hit by a typhoon from time to time, and it has been disastrous. I was told it was such that they could only think that someone was manipulating the weather. As a result, no one wanted to complete the quest anymore, so the amount of reward increased. I see. If you think about it, this quest to subjugate the kraken could be very tasty, because it is, isn't it? I've seen a lot of magic since I came to this world, but the skill to manipulate the weather is impossible even with Carolina's magic. If my prediction is correct, it is only the result of widespread rumors, and people around me fear it. Chapter 106, Riding the Dragon. I accepted a quest from the guild and decided to return to the mansion instead of going directly to the sea. Not forgetting to buy a swimsuit at the tool store when I did. I decided to keep each one of them in the ball, as I selected the swimsuits at the request of the girls and to my own taste. Oh, Suta-san. I've been waiting for you. Seal, is the sample article complete? It's ready. As you can see, it fits the size of the wyvern's body perfectly. That's right. What was the article I asked Seal to do a while back? It was the stirrups that were needed to ride the dragon. This is so cool. The orthodox dragon, the wyvern, using the stirrups looked even more dignified than before. It's every man's dream to ride a dragon and go on an adventure. There's only one problem. Because of the wyvern's body size, only 2 people will be able to ride it. So, the rest will have to stay on the ball until we reach the sea. Yes, so that happens. As expected, riding with everyone would be a great burden to the wyvern. It's hard to decide who to put on his back. By the way, I have a question. Who wants to ride the wyvern first? I could feel the bodies of the 3 girls twitching. The atmosphere felt more tense than anything else. Oh I guess the girls want to ride dragons too. Good job, wyvern. It seems to be very popular among the female members as well. Here me. I'm the goddess of beauty, and I think I deserve to be first in line. I would like to apply for the job, even if it's presumptuous. My ability to fly will be useful if you ever think of riding a dragon safely. I want to ride it too. The stirrups I made this time are just prototypes, so I'd like to see how they're really used and adjust them. Other than Aphrodite, there seems to be a legitimate reason for the other 2 to be in the back. If you're thinking about safety, Carolina. If you want to improve your stirrups, you should choose Seal. Okay. The question is, who to choose? 5 minutes later, I put the girls back on the ball and decided to ride on the back of the wyvern with Aphrodite. Phew. Well done, Suitor, you know, it's pretty obvious you were going to pick me first. I wonder if she was so happy to have been chosen over the others. Aphrodite, who had sat in the back, was in a better mood than ever. By the way, Tilda, I wonder why Suitor chose me as his first choice. Aphrodite's bright eyes hurt. I can't tell just because she has big boobs, or because they'd be getting pushed on my back when we rode the dragon. Ahahaha. I don't know. There's no particularly deep reason. Really? Tilda. There has to be at least one reason for that, right? Be honest with me. Come on. They're really big tits, aren't they? Seriously. They've been moving from here to there on my back and we haven't even taken off. All right. Come on, Wyvern. Woo. I give the signal, and the Wyvern flaps its wings and takes off. This is great. This is amazing. Suitor. Yeah, great. Every time the body of the Wyvern moved, the sensation of Aphrodite's chest ran down my back. An overwhelming pleasure. I suppose the feeling of ascension into the heavens refers to such a situation. Aphrodite's breasts, which were incredibly large, were subjected to the vibrations of takeoff, and their destructive power knew no limit. In terms of male romance, I feel that the breasts pressing against my back have as much potential as riding a dragon. Chapter 107, Admiring the Swimsuits. Half an hour after riding the dragon, finally, Sala's coast, our destination, comes into view. I think we were doing about 40 miles an hour. It may not seem like much if you express it in numbers, but the convenience is very different, since the flight is not affected by obstacles. Unlike the turtle car we used so far, it would be twice as fast as a turtle car, but I was hesitant to go faster because of the wind exposure, not like in a car. Previous expeditions have been hampered more by travel time than anything else. With the Wyvern, you could complete missions much more efficiently. Woo! It's the beach. I got to the beach and jumped into the sand, screaming. If this were Japan, for example, I'm sure an empty plastic bottle would be out there. But this is an alternate world. All you can see is the emerald green sea and the pure white sand beach. Well, Suitor, I'm going to wait here while you guys finish changing. What? You better get back on the ball and change. What are you talking about? If I do that, some filthy demons might spy on you while you're dressing. Chiku. Damn it. Why does Aphrodite get so insightful only at times like this? The monsters are free to look around the capsule ball, using the inside of the ball as an alternative to a locker room. You could enjoy them changing. But the reality seems to be that it's not that easy. Tilda. Another 20 minutes later. It took a little longer, but finally everyone had changed. Come on, Suitor. Aphrodite-chan is a very pretty girl with her swimsuit. Ho ho ho. This is a good job. The swimsuit Aphrodite chose was a regular bikini. As the swimsuit has no particular characteristics, the quality of the material becomes more important. On the other hand, she is a self-proclaimed goddess of beauty, and her look and style has no gaps. It's true that there are many places where she is very fresh. Master, do you like my swimsuit? Oh, Caro, it looks good on you too. What Carolina is wearing is a black bikini with a stylish and fashionable design. The slender legs that extend from the sarong look very mature. There was a different color vector in Carolina's swimsuit than in Aphrodite's. It's a little embarrassing to be seen by a man, isn't it? The swimsuit Seal had chosen was one piece with childish colors. But, nevertheless, it's not that she's childish in some ways when, despite her small body, Seal is well developed. Good job, Seal. I never thought a busty Lily's swimsuit could be so criminal. Kyukaku. What a pity, sorcerer. A woman like me would never show her skin to such an inferior man. If it's a crime rate, Yuko is not defeated yet. Somehow, she was wearing a school bathing suit. The name Yuko was written on her chest. Why is there a school swimsuit in this alternate world? I'd like to comment on that in a few ways, but I'll leave it at that, since it's attractive. Gyunyu Kake's higher. Finally, Rust. I used my power of command and forced Rust, who had refused to wear a swimsuit, to do so. What I chose for Rust was simply a nice bikini. I don't want to do something like a punishment game when I come to the beach. That's why I decided to choose a nice regular swimsuit instead of a lewd one. You bastard. How far do you want to go to humiliate me? Rust protests as she shakes her curvaceous body. Personally, a part of his belly on the bottom of his bikini is on point. No, number. Think about what you're wearing. It's a pretty normal swimsuit, don't you think? Yeah, I think so, too. Rust seemed to be reluctantly convinced by my words. I suppose I should congratulate you on your decent choice of swimsuit. It's okay, Rust, you look good. Why is that? When I see Rust-san, I understand how my confidence as a woman decreases. If you think about it, it's probably very unusual for a guy to wear a bikini. I feel like my senses are paralyzed from being too embarrassed on a regular basis. Chapter 108. Diving. Godly. Water at Uak. You did it, Aphrodite-san, and we're going to defend ourselves. Kaya. It's cold tilde. It feels so good tilde. It feels good tilde. After changing our clothes, we enjoyed swimming at ease. Right now, in front of me there's a wonderful view of pretty girls in swimsuits splashing water on each other. By the way, it seems that a beautiful sandy beach is not unusual or anything in this world. To prove it, there was no sign of people around us, despite the perfect day at sea. After all, it was a good idea to come to the sea. It's like monopolizing the girls and the beach for yourself. It's a good feeling, isn't it? Playing in a cool room is good, but this kind of experience would never have been possible if I hadn't been summoned to this alternative world. While I was resting under an umbrella, Carolina in her black bikini came up to me. Master, you're not going to swim anymore? Yes, not anymore. I think I'm done. I've played enough, and I'm getting a little bored. After that, there's the mission to eliminate the Kraken, so I'd like to stay healthy. I prepared my sunglasses in advance, just in case this happened. To be honest, I didn't know what sunglasses were for until now, but now I can see it. I guess sunglasses are just items to look at a girl's swimsuit shamelessly. It's a great way to keep them from finding out where you're looking. So, how about this way of playing? It was when I was admiring Carolina's thick thighs through my sunglasses. Proof. Carolina used an unknown auxiliary magic with me. Caro. This is, or should I say diving magic? As long as this magic is active, you can breathe and move freely in the water. What did you say? Is this such a useful magic? No, number. It doesn't matter if it's Caro. I can't believe it so easily, that humans are able to breathe underwater. It's truly amazing. Wow, it's true. I don't know how it works, but it really makes you breathe underwater. What's more, I can talk normally. Maybe it's because the area around the body is covered with a kind of air membrane, so even if I open my mouth, no water can enter. This is a great spell. What an octopus. Is its skin color blue? Why is that shell shaped like a star? It was the first time I'd seen so many mysterious marine lives, and I couldn't help but get excited. Tilda. Carolina cast a diving spell on me, and I was now enjoying the first underwater dive of my life. I think I had already dived to a depth of about 100 feet. Apparently, the proof magic also has the effect of reducing the effects of water pressure on the body. Normally, you would think that by now something bad would have happened to your body, but thanks to the magic, it still seems that I can dive as deep as I want. It is said that the time of effect is limited to 1 hour for a common adventurer, but in Carolina's case it is up to 24 hours. If you have this magic, you could even live in the sea. Spyfish, LV. 15, Grade G. Vitality, 10. Strength, 10. Magic, 10. Mana, 5. Skills. Water Magic Beginner. Billy Jellyfish, LV. 3/10. Grade F. Vitality, 38. Strength, 8. Magic, 35. Mana, 13. Skills. Water Magic Beginner. There are a lot of monsters around here. Spyfish were translucent body monsters that were very hard to find in the water. The Billy Jellyfish is a huge jellyfish with a body length of about 6 feet. It's gonna be hard to get monsters underwater, isn't it? In the water, even if you throw the ball, the buoyancy is going to affect it. I feel like it's a waste, but I'll stop capturing and move on. Is that, after a while, I discovered a huge black shadow in the middle of the ocean. As I got closer, I realized that the shadow's identity was a huge fish monster. Berserk Shark, LV. 12/20, Grade D. Vitality, 72. Strength, 83. Magic, 55. Mana, 13. Skills. Water Magic Intermediate. Hey, this situation is actually pretty bad, right? My heart skipped a beat when I ran into the obviously violent shark monster. However, as soon as the shark monster looks in my direction, it turns its gaze, uninterested. Oh, I was saved. Apparently, I wasn't the target of the berserk shark. Little Turtle, LV. 15, Grade G. Vitality, 15. Strength, 10. Magic, 5. Mana, 5. Skills. Water Magic Beginner. The monster turtle, about 20 inches long, was right in front of the eyes of the berserk shark. Q. The little turtle ran away from the sight of the berserk shark as it made tender little noises. It's okay. Keep it up and get the berserk's attention. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to leave now. It was just as I was about to turn around as if nothing had happened. Wait. At that moment, the popular Japanese tale Urashima Taro came to my mind. In Urashima Taro, the story was told in which the main character was invited to a wonderful place called Dragon Palace for saving a turtle. Maybe if I just saved the turtle monster to have a chance to go to the Dragon Palace? No, I think that's too good to be true. But I don't feel right letting the turtle die like that. So, I'm gonna use borrowing skill to see if I can use it to fight the berserk shark. Come on, Bullet Rock. The first thing I used was the Bullet Rock skill that Adamite Skillam possessed. Bullet Rock, Grade D, active. The ability to throw a giant rock in front of you. The next moment I used my skill. A rock approximately 3 feet in diameter emerges from my palm and flies towards the berserk shark. That's good. The speed was slow because of the resistance of the water, but it seemed to fly straight away somehow. Kusha. Knowing it was being attacked, the berserk shark opened its mouth and began to get angry. Mission accomplished. In fact, the speed at which it flew was too slow to hit the target, but I was able to get its attention. The angry berserk shark looks straight at me and is going to bite me. Silly shark. If you want to eat so badly, I'll let you eat all you want. I choose you, Light Mash. So, I summoned a poisonous mushroom monster that I had captured earlier. Gulp. The overzealous berserk shark bit right through the mushroom umbrella. Purru. Immediately afterwards, the body of the berserk shark went numb and began to convulse. The spores of the light mash had the effect of paralyzing the target. Now, retreat. With a little more persistence, I may have been able to catch the berserk shark, but for now, my priority is to return unharmed. I put the lime ash with its gnawed umbrella on the ball and swam away as fast as I could. Chapter 109, Riku again. Ugh. That was terrible. After narrowly escaping that situation, I go up to the sea and take a breath. What can I say? The biggest victim in this case was the gnawed body of the light mash, right? I wanted to be getting the treatment on the ball. Geez. It's too late. Suta, where the hell have you been? I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I was chased by a monster shark as a result of diving in the sea. I'm ashamed to say this, so I'll keep my mouth shut. It's not a good idea to get that deep into anything. Let this incident be a lesson for the future. Wow. Isn't there some kind of increase in the number of people here and there? They probably have the same goal as us. The Kraken is nocturnal. There are probably many adventurers who explore at night. Yes, in other words, this is the beginning of the Kraken's subjugation. I suppose there was a good reason why the beach was lent to us during the day. Hey, man, that guy. He's the adventurer that's been on everyone's lips lately. Case hire Suta, right? Shit. Why is he wearing a swimsuit? And besides, the level of the girls he's with is so high that I'm jealous. I could see the look of the male adventurers gathering in our direction. In fact, it's a little too much to go around with a beautiful girl in a swimsuit with you. For the time being, I'm going to put the girls back on the ball somewhere out of sight and try to get them dressed. Let's see. I wonder if there's a rock somewhere. It was just when I was looking around. Hey, you're Riku government. Race, gnome. Age, 23. I saw a woman I know. The woman with the thin, slim body was someone I had met in the Haru Mountains before. Riku-san, what are you doing here? Not much, Tahaha. There's only one reason to come to the Salaz coast, of course. To eliminate the Kraken, right? Is the demon hunt going well? It's okay, a little. I happen to have a craving for grilled squid. Suspicious. Riku-san, Seal's master as a blacksmith and currently active in the Blue Sky Archdemon hunting clan, is a very busy person. I can't imagine a scene where Riku-san is purposely doing Adventurers Guild missions. Whoa, master, why are you here? Meanwhile, the disciple appeared. Seal, who had seen Riku-san, was asking the same question as me. Wait, don't hurry. Hey, seal. What the hell is this all about? I'm not sure what you mean. To this, these breasts. When the hell did this happen? When did they start getting this big? She was surprised to see the two breasts raised and tightened so much inside the swimsuit. Oh, yes, I see. Seal is thin, so you can't tell the size of her breasts until she takes off her clothes. When she wore the Fire Fairy clothes before, I would have known her size, but I was so busy at the time that I probably didn't think about it. I don't know. Something like that doesn't matter now. It matters to me. What the hell has happened in the last 2 years? Riku-san was half discouraged as she touched her own chest. Somehow, I know how she feels. Though she is a child, Seal has a large chest. Riku-san has a mature body, but her chest is small. The two had an interestingly opposite shape. It's frustrating. I never thought the day would come when I'd lose to a disciple 10 years younger than me. Hey, master, where the hell are you touching? With tears in her eyes, Riku-san, who was desperate, begins to rub Seal's chest. Here. It's this place, isn't it? Teacher, stop doing that. Why did Riku-san come to the Salaz Coast? I am curious as to why, but it seems a nuisance to ask now. I will hear the reasons later and continue to appreciate the Yuri play of Seal and Riku-san. Chapter 110, Goblin DX. At sunset and nightfall, we decided to make a plan to defeat the Kraken once and for all. I thought of a pattern to look for it with diving magic, but I also had the bitter experience of being attacked by a berserk shark, so I want to avoid it if possible. An underwater battle was more inconvenient than I had imagined. Then you can rent a boat and explore. I'm sure they're rented from a nearby fishing village. What? ? Are you sure? The phrase boat to cross probably refers to this situation. After listening to Seal's words, I go to the fishing village to rent a boat. It seems that the area here has prospered thanks to the wholesale of seafood to the town of St. Bell. Tarsif Mons, race, Kate Scythe, age, 41. Excuse me. I heard that you can rent a boat here. I gathered my courage and called the man at the boat store. Tarsif-san, the boatman, was a man with a very strong face, though with cat ears sticking out of his head. You're an adventurer, aren't you? If you want a charter boat, we'll line them up on the ocean over there. Thank you, sir. Tarsif-san showed me around, and I took a look at the rental boats floating in the sea. The price is 20,000 kol per day. With its small size, it will only fit about 7 people. I'm not going to complain about the prices. However, there was one thing that feels off. Why are there so many tattered boats? The rental boats had holes in some places and were reinforced with planks that were later put in some places. They are all in such a state that it is strange that they can still float on the sea. All my boats have been lost to the Kraken, all of them. That's what makes our business so good. If you break a boat, you pay an extra 200,000 collars repair fee. Yes, I guess we all think the same way. In other words, this terrible situation is the result of the fact that adventurers who tried to rent a boat, like us, have been subject to reprisals. There's a beautiful boat there. I found out there's only one shiny ship among the ships lined up. It's about 65 feet long. I wonder if it's a galley. I feel like I've seen a picture of one in my school history textbook. Driven by human power plus the power of sails, galleys were designed to tickle men's hearts. No, impossible. It took me a year to build that ship to sell it to the aristocracy. It's not for rent. Really? I guess it's only natural. If he rented such a splendid boat to adventurers, it's likely it would be stolen. Well, I don't know what to do. It was all right to the point of renting a boat to eliminate the Kraken, but on a battered ship, you don't know when you're going to sink, which would only keep you restless. On the other hand, I think it's also dangerous to use the magic of diving to search from the sea. 1 hour later, a brilliant ship had been prepared in front of us. Foo-fa-foo! Inverted exclamation mark ha ha ha. I made it. I ended up letting the money talk and buying this shiny new boat. It's incredible. I had no idea you were so incredibly rich. It may make you feel bad to say this, but often people are not what they seem. Tarsif-san turned his eyes to me as if looking at something incredible. No wonder he did. After all, the price of the ship I bought was an astounding 10 million kol. It can't be helped. It was due a force majeure. I couldn't help regretting that I had rented a battered boat and ended up destroying it. It's not like you can spend money in the afterlife. If I keep it in the ball, I won't have a problem with storage later, and if you keep your own boat, It will come in handy later. If we can get rid of the Kraken safely, we can make enough money, and I will consider this a necessary expense. With the boat in the ball, I headed for a sparsely populated coast. Well, finally, it was time to go to work. I summoned 15 goblin knights and gave them oars and put them in their place. The goblins are, of course, led by Carolina. You know what? If you slow down even a little bit, then consider your lives lost. Gobu. Carolina smiled, and the legion of goblins shuddered. So scary. As expected, Sergeant Carolina, whose job it is to train the monsters in the ball, is also a natural enemy to the Goblin Knights. I've made a mistake before when I got into the mind of a Goblin Knight, too. Why do I deserve the same treatment as goblins? Rust muttered and grumbled as she stood among the goblins. The answer is simple. I have a total of 15 Goblin Knights in my service. When the rows are odd-numbered, the balance between left and right is lost. That's why it was decided to let Rust row instead of the missing goblin. Suta-san. I'm ready to leave, said Seal, who climbed to the top of the mast and adjusted the sails. Since Seal is good with her hands, we can trust her to take care of any problems that may arise. I'll take care of the top. Let's go. I had Aphrodite and Yuko come to Seal to help her with her needs. With her ability to levitate freely in the air, Yuko could not be more important in setting the sails. Earlier, Aphrodite rushed to row and then complained that she was tired, so I decided to assign her a job by a process of elimination. If I may say so, she has the advantage that she will not be injured when she falls from the mast because of her statistics. Everybody, are you ready for this? Finally, I, Case Hayasuta, am in the position of captain. This has increased the tension. Becoming the captain of a pirate ship is every Japanese kid's dream. There isn't a man who doesn't get excited in this situation. Goblin DX. Let's go. Gobu. While I was giving the instructions, Seal unfurled the sails and the Goblin Knights began to row in unison. Hey, isn't this too much? The Goblin Knights, with their strong bodies and power of command, moved the ship at a terrifying speed. The ship we were on made me want to do we have an engine? Retort. I was moving forward with an impulse that made me want to ask what was going on. Chapter 111, versus the Kraken. It had been an hour since the Goblin DX started moving. Having raised a lot of money and bought a luxury boat, our trip was a smooth sailing affair. The sea breeze brushing against my body felt good. If the situation does not change, I would like to take it easy and enjoy fishing. Suta-san. Something a little fishy is going on in the clouds, isn't it? Just when I thought the mission was going smoothly, the change came as fast as anyone could have predicted. The seabirds were singing in unison. The sky is starting to cloud over and the sea seems to be getting more and more agitated. Whoa! That thing came out of nowhere. Zazazazazaza. Waves SFX. The rain began to fall in drops, but it gained momentum and finally turned into a situation where it looked like a bucket had been tipped over. We have a problem. I can't believe it's shaking like this. So this is a boat in a storm. Seal. Lower the sail. Yes, sir. Caro. Prepare the anchor. Right away. At times like these, it's not a good idea to make any rash moves. It would be better to drop anchor for now and wait for the storm to weaken. It turns out I was right to buy the galley, even though it cost a lot of money. No matter how much diving magic we can use, if we had been stingy and used a rented boat, we would have been in danger. Whoa. Suta. I think I'm getting dizzy. It was Aphrodite who first spoke in this extreme state. Well, I guess it can't be helped this time. The ship was shaking so badly in the storm that I could barely stand up. Are you alright? If you're that bad, you can rest on the ball. Suddenly there was a disgusting sound that interrupted my words. I looked in the direction of the sound, and there she was, the figure of Rust lying on her back on the floor of the ship. You can't let a beautiful girl show herself like that. You're a total pain in the ass. Although she was puking all over the place, Rust had wounds all over her body. It can't be helped. For now, I'll force Rust back into the ball. Suta-san. There's something coming from the front. It was right after Seal screamed. Zabaan. Just when I thought a huge wave was rising, a giant creature appeared in front of us. Kraken. Grade B, LV 2830. Vitality, 368. Strength, 722. Magic, 115. Mana, 353, skills. Strength increased large. It's the kraken. It's got a big body. If you measured it from the tip of its head to the end of its body, I think it's about 20 meters in size. I'm tired of using a different measure system. This may be due to the effect of its skill, but its strength is unusually high. However, no matter who the opponent is, I have the ability to kill gods with one shot. The capsule ball. It was natural not to be able to aim well in a boat that is so agitated. But somehow the ball flew into the kraken. It was supposed to be the end of the battle. What? The kraken took advantage of its 10 tentacles and bounced the capsule ball with a passion. I don't know if it's my imagination. I feel like something like this has happened before. The capsule ball skill, which is disabled when deflected, is not good with tentacled monsters like this. If the ball were to hit, something different would happen. Karo, right away. But, nevertheless, our turn isn't over. If your opponent uses its tentacles to bounce the ball, you just must contain its movement. Water storm. Carolina uses her water magic, which is her specialty, to bathe the kraken in cold sub-zero air. With her body temperature dropping rapidly, the kraken gradually reduced its movements. Just when it seemed like it was the turning point this time. Zabba! With a big wave, the kraken dives into the sea. Oh, no, it still had that move. If it stays underwater, they won't attack it and can stay warm. It's an efficient method of the enemy. Suta, there's water coming into the ship. What did you say? Looking back, the floor of the ship had been pierced by the tentacles of the kraken that hardened like spears. Oh, crap. Maybe I've been getting too cocky lately because I've been getting a little more power. We may have won by a simple comparison in terms of strength, but this stormy sea was the opponent's turf. I had to be as ready as I could be against a superior opponent. Light mash. Nuko. If there's a hole, just cover it up. That's what I thought, and I summoned 6 light mash at the same time. Spo. Alright. The holes in the ship are perfectly filled with the light mash umbrella. The mushroom umbrella did a good job as a cover, so this should give me some more time. Well, where are the tentacles going to come from now? I'm gonna hit it with a ball no matter where it comes from. Master. From behind. Shit. The kraken's tentacles were coming out at that point. I am not gonna make it in time. So fast. Apparently, their 700 in strength wasn't just for show. It was the moment the kraken's huge tentacles tried to pierce my body. Kyupi. Suddenly, the kraken let out a shrill scream. Good heavens. That was close. Wasn't it? Riku-san? It was Riku-san on a small boat that saved my life at the last minute. Another shot. Apparently, the arrows Riku-san was using had a special power in them. With the force of the wind around them, Riku-san's arrows flew impassively through the storm toward the kraken. What is more, they were so powerful that they pierced the kraken's body. It is time. I won't let this opportunity pass me by. Thanks to Riku-san's efforts to weaken it, I was able to hit it this time without its tentacles rejecting the ball. By the way, I wonder if sea creatures can live in the ball. After I got the kraken, I had a simple question at the end. Chapter 112, Rumors of the Mermaid Princess. So, we decided to put Riku-san on the ship and ask her a lot of questions. Apparently, this time the storm was only temporary. Almost at the same time I captured the kraken, the storm began to slowly recede. By then, the sun was already shining on the deck of the ship. Ahaha. I'm glad Suto and the others are here. I almost died at sea. In conclusion, she saved us. But we're the ones who saved her. I don't think you have any idea what I'm talking about, so let's just take it one step at a time. Apparently, Riku-san's little rental boat got completely out of control because of the storm. She was already prepared to die when the ship was flooded by the typhoon. But she met us by chance. When she fired the arrows, her ship was already more than half sunk. I felt that I had been deceived because I really thought Riku-san was cool. So, in the end, why did Riku-san want to subjugate the kraken? That's because I'm going to make some grilled squid to accompany with the sake. There's no need to joke like this. As expected, she must have realized that she couldn't fool me in this situation. Riku-san's expression immediately changed to one of seriousness. Mermaid Princess Limus. If you are an adventurer, you have probably heard the name. Riku-san says that as if it were common sense. This is bad. Naturally, I was summoned from another world, so there's no way I could have that kind of knowledge. If I expose my ignorance here, it might give her an extra suspicion. Karo, a little help. With that in mind, I decided to use my contact skill to go the cheetah's way. Mermaid Princess Limus. She's 148 centimeters tall. She weighs 42 kilograms. She's lived 342 years. I think she's relatively young among the demons. She has a special blessing to control the weather. In the past, she was a commander of the 6th Division of the Demon Lord's army, and was mainly in charge of leading the ocean monsters. His hobby is sewing, and his favorite food is sweet potatoes. I get it. That's good enough for me. Thank you. As expected from Carolina. I'd like to say that the explanation was too detailed, right? Could it be that the two of them knew each other personally? No, number. It's impossible for a good demon like Carolina to be friends with someone horrible like a division commander of the Demon King's army. Of course I know. Limus is a famous demon, isn't she? What about her? If you know, then it'll be faster. Limus is a demon with the power to control the weather. That's why I'm investigating the possibility that the erratic weather in these waters was caused by her. Yes, somehow, I can imagine it's possible. In other words, for Riku-san, getting rid of the Kraken this time was part of her activities as a demon hunter. However, apparently my assumption was wrong. Apparently, the cause of the storm this time was completely natural. How could you do that? It's a long story. But I used this cursed compass, grade A, a compass that reacts to demon magic and directs its needle towards it. So Riku-san pulled a rare item grade A from inside her clothes. This compass is a special item that only a limited number of demon hunters can possess. It has its limitations, but it is possible to determine the location of the demons. I didn't know there was such an item. This, however, connected the story. When I think about it now, I think it was because of that item that Riku-san was able to see that Carolina was a demon at their first meeting. Alright, Suta-san. I'm going to be staying in the town of St. Bell for a while, so let me know when you have more information about Limus. After chatting like this for a while, the fishing town that was our starting point appeared. Riku-san left those words and walked away from us. Chapter 113. Power Up. We returned from the quest to subjugate the Kraken. Now we have those 15 million coals we've been waiting for. I would have liked to say that even after subtracting 10 million coals from the fund for the purchase of the ship, there was a surplus of 5 million coals. But here was a new problem. To get those 15 million coals, you had to deliver the Heart of Kraken to the Adventurer Guild. However much they offered me in return those 15 million coals, it would have been a shame to kill the Kraken. It's partly because of my original high stats, but there was a reason I couldn't let the Kraken go. First, I take a brick from the yard and throw it into the sky. The next moment I threw another brick, this time with a kick. Crack. The brick broke into pieces, like it had been hit with a hammer or something. Case Hire Suta. Job, Monster Tamer. Level, 588. Vitality, 270. Strength, 399 plus 300. Magic, 214. Mana, 3053. Blessing, Absolute Control. Skills: Capsule Ball, Appraisal Eyes, Demon Combination, Contact, Mental Manipulation, Borrowing Skills, Enslaved Monsters, Aphrodite, Carolina Burton, Silo Telrod, Yoko, Rust Drizati, Werewolf, Adamite Gillum, Kedamaro, Wyvern, Kraken, Goblin Knight X15, Light Mash X6, Firefox X4, Mad Mash. The reason for my rapid increase in muscle power was due to a change in the value of my strength. What should I hide? This is the effect of borrowing the strength increase large skill that the Kraken possesses through borrowing skills. It feels so good to have my body strengthened. If you can taste this stimulating feeling, 15 million coals is not enough. As a monster tamer, my fighting style has mainly been to let the monsters I've enslaved fight. However, from now on, it might be a good idea to take the initiative to fight. In the end, this quest didn't yield any rewards. But whatever, let's be positive. It was worth it just to get the means to strengthen my body. Monster Information. Kraken. Encyclopedia number 722. Race: Water Monster. Grade: B. Level: 1. Vitality: 180. Strength: 410. Magic: 70. Mana: 170. Skills: Strength increased large. A monster that's on the top rung of the water race. It's an expert in agile tentacle attacks, with a total of 10 tentacles. It has a strong smell of ammonia and is not suitable for eating. Chapter 114. Hollow heroine. Mean min 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 mien. It was still the highlight of summer in this other world, Adelaide. The cicadas perched on the trees in the garden sang as if they were stalking me. I was, as always, lying dead on the porch of the mansion, which had a good breeze, as it had always been. Then I turned around because it was so hot. Wah! What the hell? Smooth. Two vaguely familiar spheres stood before me. Damn, what's going on? You're so noisy. Aphrodite wakes up, rubbing her eyes half asleep. Hey. Why are you dressed like that? I knew she was careless, but I didn't expect her to be as careless as she is now. Somehow, Aphrodite was wearing the same swimsuit I had bought her to go to the beach. You fun. What do you think? Aren't you glad to see me in a swimsuit? In the house? What? I'm already tired of looking at your breasts. I got angry and argued with her, but of course my words were false. Metaphorically, it's like when you eat the same thing every day, but when it comes to girls' beautiful breasts, the concept of boredom doesn't exist. I think that, lately, my daring in front of Suta has been stagnant. Aphrodite's chest moves as she complains. No, number. It's not that. Or maybe it is. It is true that the presence of Aphrodite does not seem to have diminished when you think of what happened when I was first summoned to this other world. Even the busty character, which was her only identity, seems to have been stolen by Rust. I feel like Suta and I are spending less time alone together. It's like I'm not a mainstay anymore. It's not hard to see Aphrodite's point. Carolina has fellow demons and Seal has acquaintances like Riku-san. It was inevitable that Aphrodite, who was alone, would be removed from the center of the conversation. No matter, as long as I live, something good will happen. I put a hand on her shoulder and turned to look at Aphrodite with pity. If this world I'm in were a novel, Aphrodite would get beaten up on the internet for being a hollow heroine or something in a burlesque way. In fact, there is no denying that she is in a position where she is likely to be considered a one-trick pony. Come on, I'm not you after all. It hurts. That hurts. Was it a bad idea to send words of encouragement? Blushing, Aphrodite slaps me on the back with a punch. Suta, this is an order. We're going on a date tomorrow, and it's going to last all day. Why so suddenly? Come on. This time, I'll make sure you can't take your eyes off me again. Suta, get ready. It can't be helped. Since she asked, today, for the first time in a long time, I will only have eyes for Aphrodite. I recently received a letter from the owner of the tool shop saying that he had received an unusual item. Aphrodite's frustration would soften a bit if the two of us went out together. Chapter 115. Transferred. Then, the next day, finally, the day of the date with Aphrodite arrived. Hey, D. Aren't you done getting dressed yet? Not yet. I'm not finished yet. If you look at me, I won't forgive you. Sure. Apparently, Aphrodite was in the process of changing her swimsuit into clothes to go out. Maybe it's my imagination, but I'm pretty sure we've had this exchange before. I'm ready now. I summoned Aphrodite, who had already given her consent through the contact skill. What do you think? Aphrodite opens her mouth with a tense voice sound. She was wearing a white blouse and a black skirt. Her structure is nothing less than complex. I'm sure it's an attractive design, but I have no idea how the top and bottom are connected. Wow, you had a suit like that? This is an amazing development. I thought I'd use the fairy dancer clothes one I bought earlier. Foo. I asked Rust-chan to make me this dress. I had some good fabric left over from the mansion, so I thought I'd do something with it. What? Rust? Another surprising development. I didn't know that. When did Aphrodite and Rust become so close? Sure. Well, it looks good, doesn't it? The quality of the clothing manufactured by Rust is no different from what you can buy in a store. So, in addition to cooking and housework, she was good at sewing. Rust's feminine power is unparalleled. Is that all? As if my reaction wasn't enough, Aphrodite moved her face closer to mine, trying to see my expression. It's strange. Why does my heart beat for seeing Aphrodite? Could it be, Suta, that you're nervous about this unusual air I'm giving off? No. I'm not. I know. Apparently, the reason for my nervousness was the clothes Aphrodite was wearing. For now, let's just call them virgin-killing clothes. That Rust. She made some impressive clothes. This costume, which duplicated the innocent aura of the girls who wore it, had the destructive power to strike at the hearts of boys who had little experience with women. Foo. Being shy you look cute. Come on, I'll be your guide today. Aphrodite took my arm and gave me a little devilish smile. Gunup. Nunanu. It's Aphrodite. It's Aphrodite. When a girl who normally only shows her idiot face takes control, you feel like you're losing. Tilda. My planned errand of the tool shop ended sooner than I expected. Skill seed. Grade A. A magic seed that makes you learn random job skills when you eat. Each one costs 5 million. It's an item that's only supposed to be found in the depths of a dungeon, so it's expensive. This was still a regular price, which meant it was pretty cheap. Before, I definitely would have let it go, but now I'm a different kind of person. After all, in the search for Kairu's hideout we earned 200 million coals. I don't feel that my financial sense is somehow broken these days. But considering the future, 5 million coals is a small expense. Tilda. After running the errand, it was time to meet Aphrodite. She took me to a clothing store in St. Bell. It seems like a waste, but fortunately, I have more than enough money for what we sold. So, I decided to buy all the clothes I wanted, just as Aphrodite told me. Gosh, so heavy. You know, you're a guy, so hang in there. And now, in fact, my hands are now completely covered by bags of women's clothing. Oh, that shirt right there would look great on Seal. That dress looks like it was made for Rust-chan. I see. So, she wasn't just picking out clothes for her, but for the other girls too. No wonder the paper bags in my hands weigh like rocks. The money I got from Kairu's hideout wasn't something I could have gotten on my own. I don't want to be the only one spending a lot of money and then forcing my partners to save. I guess I'll just have to accept Aphrodite's selfishness just for today. Foo. My name is Aphrodite ++. The most super cute. She's the goddess everyone turns to see. There it is. The same old strange song. Aphrodite's mood was at its best when she made her 5th trip to a clothing store like this. What's the matter, suitor? Aren't you being too nice today? Really? When you're so nice to me, it makes me wonder what's going on behind my back. You buy my clothes, you carry my stuff. It's amazing. Not at all. Besides, I'm always nice to you. In your case, suitor, it's scary how seriously you seem to think that. I can't believe it. He treats me like I'm a demon. How rude. There are no naive, innocent boys like me these days. Morozumi Shinji. Race, human. Age, 16. While I was thinking about it, a naive-looking boy like me comes up ahead. Morozumi Shinji? That's a very Japanese name. It's possible that the boy, who looks quite young for his age of 16, stops in front of Aphrodite. It can't be. Is it you, Aphrodite-sama? What the hell? This guy. Does he know Aphrodite? Who are you supposed to be? It's me. I'm Morozumi Shinji, who was summoned to Adelaide by you. Thank you very much for what you did for me. That's where even I understood it, and then I realized. In fact, before I caught her, Aphrodite was working in the heavenly realm as a navigator between the earth and other worlds. In other words, Shinji must be a person summoned from Japan, like me. Oh, yes, Shinji-kun. Right? I remember now. I do remember. What the hell? This girl. What the hell is wrong with the look on her face that said she forgot about it? Well, I heard that Aphrodite sent a lot of people to other worlds besides me and Shinji, so I guess it's partly inevitable. What brings Aphrodite-sama to Adelaide? By the way, Aphrodite-sama had the noble task of a navigator, connecting the earth and other worlds. Right? It hit a sore spot all of a sudden. Aphrodite came to live in this world. Of course, because I caught her in a capsule ball. But, nevertheless, I feel like I'm going to get into some weird trouble if I'm stupidly honest about it. Well, it's just that. What is the purpose of Aphrodite-sama in coming into this world? And who is that guy over there? Shinji's hasty questions continue. Come on, Aphrodite. I don't expect her to have a perfect excuse, considering her idiot personality. Anyway, if we can get through this, we'll be fine. This is my servant. And I'm on vacation from my job in heaven right now, and I'm traveling this other world with him. Phew, you dare treat me like a servant just because I'm the only one with all the baggage in the world? But for now, I must be patient. Even Aphrodite doesn't believe it. After all, I'm a nice, naive boy. The kind that doesn't get angry about the slightest thing. I see. No wonder. What? Hey, Shinji. What, no wonder part. Hey, don't be fooled. We'll hear more about that later. Chapter 116. The Raven of the Twin Swords. After answering the questions, it was our turn. I was also interested in being a transferee from Japan, so I decided to ask Shinji a lot of questions. Huh? So, you're working as a demon hunter now, Shinji? Yes, with Book of the Abyss. They are the strongest demon hunters in Adelaide. It is said that the resurrection of the Demon Lord will be sooner or later, so there is no day that they do not train. It seems that many of the otherworldly people from the earth belong to the demon hunters, like Shinji. Once you belong to an organization, you will receive generous support in terms of equipment and the money depending on your skills. In fact, if your goal was to defeat the Demon Lord, it might be a reasonable choice. Now my level has risen to 87. I am where I am now because of the Holy Knight job given to me by Aphrodite-sama. You have a very cool job. Mine sucks anyway. Monster Tamer. I am glad I have a compatible blessing, because if it weren't for that, I would have been forced to live a miserable life by now. So why are you at St. Bell, Shinji? Right. I would like to ask you to keep this information, but I'm looking for the former commander of the Demon Lord's Army Division, the Mermaid Princess Lemis. I have received information from a source that Lemis is lurking in the waters near this city. I see. So, his purpose is the same as Riku-san and the rest of Blue Sky Arch. But what a pity. The fact that this information was only gossip was confirmed in the recent quest to subjugate the Kraken the other day. Right. There is a guy I'd like you to meet, Aphrodite-sama. He's Japanese like me, but he's also very strong. Wow, another Japanese like Shinji? After all this time, I've realized that the Japanese have been kidnapped too much. Did they find it easier to adapt than foreigners because of the deep-rooted gamer culture? That's strange. He was supposed to meet me before. It was right after Shinji started looking around. Hey, you bastard. I'm over here. A man, with apparent lack of education, suddenly shouts out loud. He's tall. He's probably about 2 meters tall. His body was thin because of it, and that gave him an indescribably creepy atmosphere. You brat. You want me to kill you? You? Wow, like the lines a fourth-rate thug would say. No matter how much power I got, I wouldn't want to be like that. It's the opposite of a pure, innocent boy like me, in a way. Crossed Ryuki. Race, human. Age, 15. As soon as I saw the name of the boy next to the one who was a clear thug, I realized this guy is probably the other Japanese guy Shinji was talking about. He's a little under 1,5 meters tall, no distinguishing features, except that he wears a black cape that resembles the wings of a bird. I estimate that his face is above average. He was a very ordinary boy, not too much more than that. Hey, you damn brat, and who are you supposed to be? Huh? Wow, he's so small I didn't even notice him until now. Next to the tall thug was a person who could only be described as the short thug number 2. While the man I just mentioned has an elongated body like a burdock, this one is shaped like a potato. Listen, we, the Vesilta brothers, are A-rank adventurers based here in the town of St. Bell. If you're an adventurer too, at least you've heard of us, right? If you kneel and apologize now, I'll let you go, depending on your attitude. A-rank adventurers. Were these foul-mouthed brothers so strong? The adventurers of this world are divided into 8 levels, from G to S. They were second on the list, just one step away. I'm a D-rank adventurer, by the way. It's frustrating, but I'm 3 ranks behind these Vesilta brothers. Bastard, don't ignore me. Stop right there. I can't believe it. I'll teach you a lesson. The 2 A-ranking adventurers were furious with the boy who tried to pass them by in silence. What are you saying? But the next moment, something incredible happened. A sharp cut runs down the right arm of both men. Then scars appeared in turns, left arm, right leg, left leg, etc., cutting the men's bodies all over. Jaya. Having lost the movement of their hands and legs, the A-rank adventurers roll around on the ground like caterpillars. It's not a fast-moving dimension or anything like that. The fencing that man showed created the illusion that time had stopped. Holy Stardust Blade, Grade S. A holy sword that only the chosen ones can possess. Its blow slash off even the light dot. Divine Saber Magic Sword, Grade S. A magic sword that only the chosen ones can possess. Its blow pierces even the darkness. Hey, if you look closely, that equipment is awesome. A sacred sword and a magic sword. Now that's the equipment of someone who cheats. Nonsense. With both swords in hand, He sheaths them as if nothing had happened. He did not flinch, despite attacking those men. This guy. Is he really a human like me? How was it? Did you get a look at him? He is the ace of the Book of the Abyss, the one who was given the strongest job, the hero. He is the Raven of the Twin Swords. Shinji told us with a sincere look of pride on his face. Aphrodite-sama, don't worry. No enemy can defeat Raven. He will definitely defeat the Demon Lord. Raven was chosen to have the strongest job, hero, and I was chosen for the weakest job, monster tamer. That's how I ended up meeting a Japanese man who was in many ways on the opposite side of the spectrum. Chapter 117, Transformation Skill. The night of the day I met Crow. Phew. I'm so tired. When I returned to the mansion, I lay down on my bed in my room as quickly as I could. The reason for the tiredness probably isn't just because I've been spending time shopping with Aphrodite, Raven of the Twin Swords, the man who was chosen to have the most powerful job, hero. It was shocking to see a Japanese guy like me slash up another person without so much hesitation. What kind of environment do you have to live in to be so cruel? Fortunately, the wounds of the A-rank adventurer duo seem to have been healed by Shinji-kun. It seems that Shinji's Holy Night job allows him to acquire advanced healing magic, as well as powerful melee attack skills. You're cheating enough already. But unfortunately, I was Aphrodite's servant. All I could do was smile at them. I'd like to see what the two cheaters are up to, but let's put other people's business aside for now. Skill Seed. Grade A. A magic seed that makes you learn random job skills when you eat. Today I was going to examine the item I bought from the tool store owner. I put the skill seed in my mouth like the description says. Gah. I was expecting this, but it's gross. If I were to compare it to something, it would be like taking a bite out of an acorn. Like taking a bite out of a raw acorn. Chew, chew, chew. I hold my nose to avoid tasting it as much as possible and continue to chew the seed. There is no particular change in my body, but what about my status? I became curious, and checked the situation. Case hire suitor. Job, monster tamer. Level, 588. Vitality, 270. Strength, 99. Magic, 214. Mana, 3053. Blessing, absolute control. Skills, capsule ball, appraisal eyes, demon combination, contact, mental manipulation, borrowing skill, transformation. Enslaved monsters. Aphrodite, Carolina Burton, Silo Telrod, Yoko, Rust Drizati, Werewolf, Adamite Gillum, Kedamaro, Wyvern, Kraken, Goblin Knight X15, Light Mash X6, Firefox X4, Mad Mash, Transformation, Grade A, Active, a skill that changes the appearance to an enslaved demon over a period of time. However, the values of the stats do not change. Conditions of acquisition? A new skill had been added to the status section. The condition of acquisition is, I've never seen a pattern like this before. It's probably not acquired legitimately, so it's a special notation. Kyukaku. Ahahahahahaha. I couldn't help but laugh in my mind. This is an interesting skill. As for the effects, I think it's similar to the mental manipulation skill that takes over a demon's body, but at the disadvantage of leaving the original body defenseless while using it. The fact that the stats don't change as well is a problem, but the transformation skill seems to be easier to use than mental manipulation. It would be faster to try these things than to think about them. With that in mind, I quickly decided to think hard about transforming myself. System message. Please select the target demon. Aphrodite, Carolina Burton, Silo Telrod, Yoko, Rust Drizati, Werewolf, Adamite Gillum, Kedamaro, Wyvern, Kraken, Goblin Knight, Light Mash, Firefox, Mad Mash. It didn't take long for me to choose Aphrodite. Don't get me wrong. There's no ulterior motives in doing this. It just happens that Aphrodite's name was at the top of the list, and there's no other reason. There's no other reason than that, after a while, my body emits a blinding light and shrinks in height. Bobobon. Caillou. Bobon. My body transforms and I hear that sound effect. I looked down in fear and saw a chest so big I couldn't see the ground. It can't be. I don't believe it. Is this really me? I stood in front of the mirror and was immensely surprised. I thought it was just the figure, but even the clothes and voice are those of Aphrodite. Munai Muni. No, you're getting me wrong. I'm rubbing my breasts for a good reason. Because this is like pinching your cheeks to make sure you're not dreaming. right? Never in an erotic sense. It's not meant to be erotic. Oh, wow, are Aphrodite's breasts H-cup? According to me, no matter how much I rub, it's not enough. The more I rub, the more I want to go on. This is like drugs. The next thing is to touch them directly. It's so elastic, even on the clothes. What would happen if I touched them in their natural state? No, you're wrong. This is just a tickle of curiosity from a biological point of view. There's nothing to feel guilty about. It is inevitable that I, who am eager to learn, want to rub my breasts. You're kidding, right? I was so busy rubbing my breasts that I was completely disoriented. I checked the time on the room clock, and the shocking truth was revealed. It's already been 10 minutes since I started rubbing my breasts. As expected from Aphrodite's breasts, exploiting the concept of time is a skill that would surprise even a shonen manga. What follows now? After enjoying my breasts, I began to notice the lower half of my body as well. Yeah, that's right. I meant it in an erotic sense anyway. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired of trying to think of reasons as an excuse. It's not like I have a lot of options. All geese like to be dirty, and that's when I was about to start preaching, not addressing anyone. Kyukaku. Lo okay, Kazuya tilde. A familiar voice echoes in the room. You are. This is bad. Did she get me? The look on Rust's face when she appeared in front of me was like the head of an ogre's. She had the same look in her eyes as the mother who was discovering the erotic book her son had hidden. Yufu tilde. I don't know what you're talking about, Rust. As you can see, I'm Aphrodite. I tried to imitate her tone of voice with embarrassment, but she didn't seem like an answer at all. Stop that foolish. Case higher. Rust's expression became even darker. It doesn't matter anymore. I don't know what happened, but Rust seemed to realize who I was after I turned into Aphrodite. How did you find out? That's easy. You look like a woman, but you act exactly like a man. Yes, you look just like the man I once was. That's right. Experience. It's not the same as conviction. No, wait. On the contrary, the situation can be a blessing in disguise. Today, Rust has the body of a plump succubus, but whatever happens, she's a man in spirit. In that sense, it's much better than being discovered by Aphrodite, Carolina, Seal or Yoko. If they're both boys, they're more likely to sympathize with each other. I'm looking forward to it. If I tell Carolina-sama and the others about this, your reputation will fall to the ground. That wasn't right at all. You bastard. You're blackmailing me. I didn't see that coming. Please. You can have anything you want. I'll do whatever you say. Please don't tell anyone else. Why am I saying lines like an anime heroine who is about to be disgraced 2 seconds after meeting the protagonist? Calm down. Now is the time to be patient. If they know I'm borrowing my friends' bodies to do obscene things, what happens next won't even be a joke. Anyway, I must buy some time and find a way out of this desperate predicament. Chapter 118, Transformation Skill 2. Whatever you say? Rust's eyes blink suspiciously, and she closes the distance between us a little more. Wait. Why the hell are you taking your clothes off here? Rust in her underwear, which looks like her plump body is tight, is, to put it simply, very erotic. But, sadly, I can't be happy at all right now just because of the situation. It's the first time I've ever been afraid of a half-naked woman. Besides, that's where something incredible happened. What was she thinking about? Rust pushed me into bed by force, even started taking my clothes off. I'm scared. What the hell? I'm scared. Why was Rust trying to squeeze my breasts? I didn't realize how horrible it would be if someone else rubbed my breasts. What the hell is going on? Do you like men? I'm just giving you a taste of your own medicine. This is what you usually do to me! When she said that, I realized. I see, so this is Rust's revenge. Because she's a beautiful girl on the outside, I've played with her, embarrassed her in many ways in the past. That's why Rust planned to double the humiliation she had been subjected to. Don't lick it. I couldn't help but scream. This Rust. Where did she get this technique? What's with this feeling? I never knew a girl's body could feel this good. I could feel my body getting hotter and hotter after Rust touched me. Kyukaku. What's wrong, Kazuya? You're showing a whole female face. Oh, how cruel. That's not happening. Not by a long shot. My simple question is, how does it look from a third party's perspective? It's a development you wouldn't know where to place it. since it's Yuri physically and Yaoi mentally. Well, here's the thing, a woman's physical shortcomings you'll find out the hard way. And then Rust screamed. My body jumped. Bekun. My body jumped. Aphrodisiac. Grade B, active. At close range, a single attack. Skill to give the target sexual desire. Oh, man. This is bad. Damn, Rust has used her aphrodisiac skill. The terrifying power of this skill has been tested on Seal's body before. I have to run for my life. This is the last thing I need. Ha ha ha, I won't let you. Coo. She must have felt I was trying to escape. Rust uses the ribbon from the maid's uniform to start tying up my limbs. Plus, something amazing happened there. What did Rust think? She took a handkerchief out of her pocket. And then, she put the rolled up handkerchief in my mouth. You can't even ask for help with this, can you? Mogga. Mogga. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Her handkerchief is stuck in my throat and I can't breathe. Now I couldn't even talk, even less run away. What in the world? Demons enslaved by monster tamer aren't supposed to harm their master. Then why is this letting Rust get away with it? Foo-fa-foo. After all, this is the fastest way to attack you. I saw Rust's fearless laugh and it made me jump. I see. In other words, this situation can be seen as part of a special game rather than a treason from a demon. You thought of that, Rust. So, Rust had forced the break in the rules by replacing the violence against her master with a BDSM game. Get ready, Case Hire Suitor. Tonight, I will repay the humiliation I have suffered so far, multiplied by 1,000. There's nothing more I can do. Having lost the freedom of my members, I have no way of resisting Rust's evil hand. I guess the skill aphrodisiac had already passed through my body. My body was on fire, as if I was waiting for Rust to touch me. Anya save me. It's the last resort in this situation. I'll use my contact skill to call for help. Asking for help would naturally mean that they would discover that I have been abusing my transformation skill. But it didn't matter anymore. I'd rather be branded a pervert as a man than continue to be degraded as a woman, which is 10 billion times better. Master, Vampire, Grade S, LV 173. Vitality, 1732. Strength, 1240. Magic, 1520. Mana, 1428. Skills, Fire Magic Advanced, Wind Magic Advanced, Water Magic Advanced, Dark Magic Advanced, Light Magic Intermediate. As expected, Carolina. Not even 2 seconds after calling for help and you're already here? The transformed Carolina already seemed to be in full preparation for battle. Besides, that's where the miracle happened. Apparently, the effect of the transformation skill was unexpectedly short-lived. At the same time that Carolina entered the room, my form returned to normal. Rust. What the hell does this mean? Zoogagagagagago. Carolina says that, even as she releases a silent pressure from her entire body. No wonder Carolina is angry. On the other hand, the current situation felt like Rust had tied me up to attack my body. It's not what it looks like, Carolina-sama. So, what's going on? I was just trying to teach Case Hire a lesson for abusing his skills to commit lewd acts, and that's all. In case you're wondering, Rust's words are 90% true. But sadly, the world is a cruel place, and the bad guys are not always brought to justice. This is even more true when the evidence is misleading, as in this case. Who's being lewd? That's absurd. Fujira. Carolina, in vampire mode, hit Rust in the face as hard as she could. Ouch. That must have left more than a couple of broken teeth. I'll have to use my healing magic to cure her later. But for once, I really didn't feel much relief. Rust's sacrifice managed to save my life, but if I had made one wrong move, I would have been the one who got slammed into the wall. The effect time seems to be short, and it's hard to tell who's watching. I guess I'd better stop abusing my shape-shifting skill for a while. Chapter 119. Let's make some dried fish. Min. I wonder. This deja vu. It's the hottest time of summer in this other world, Adelaide. The cicadas climbed on the trees in the garden were singing as if they were stalking me. Case Hire Suitor, lay as dead on the porch of the mansion, where a good breeze came in. It was hot. It's too hot. It seems that the temperature is higher today than any other day. It sure is a hot day. Today will probably be the hottest day of the summer. Whoa, did the word heat finally come out of Carolina's mouth, too? On a day like this, It's really exhausting to water the plants. Tilda. What the hell is going on? Stupid heat. Even Carolina stooped to complaining. So there's no way our spoiled goddess can take it. I heard that the heavenly kingdom of Aphrodite was a place where the temperature was kept constant and comfortable all year round. I didn't think there was anyone whinier than me, a modern guy used to air conditioning. There's trouble, Suta-san. That's when I was thinking that Seal's voice can be heard in my mind since she used the contact skill. The Kraken? Ah, you mean strength increase big comma, right? Come to think of it, I haven't summoned it once since I captured it. Is it adjusting to life on the ball? The Kraken. It turned into a dried squid. What did you say? So, I hurried to summon the Kraken. So, guess what? Huh? The Kraken was that small? The Kraken, whose skin had lost its luster, looked sick. You are. This is my fault. After discussing it with Carolina, I ended up being the Kraken's caretaker. But I was too focused on the job I had. Seal, since I had summoned them together, ran to the side of the Kraken and gave it an apologetic look. Caro, may I ask you to use some of your recovery magic? It's not impossible to do, but it probably won't work since the Kraken will need seawater, not healing, for that matter. I see. That would mean that to use the Kraken in the future, I would have to go to sea regularly. Using the Wyvern saves you a lot of travel time, but it's a bit of a hassle. Huh? Isn't that weird? In the ball, away from all the stress, you don't get sick and you don't get hungry. Or so I've heard. Basically, that's definitely what you get, but there are exceptions. Your body changes more slowly in the ball. I've calculated that a day on the ball is like 60 days of life in the outside world. So, the longer you spend, the hungrier you get and the more stress you accumulate. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how the inside of the ball is supposed to work. If we assume the Kraken was captured 60 hours ago, it's been an hour without seawater. I see. So the Kraken would dry up. All right. Well, I guess I'll go down to the beach today and give the Kraken a good reward. Master, may I make a suggestion? Sure. Don't worry, just say it. Why not create an ocean area where marine life can live inside the ball? What? I didn't expect that suggestion. But Carolina said it, so it doesn't mean it can't be done. Is it really possible? Yes, it's just a matter of making a big hole and pouring seawater into it. If we can get all the Goblin Knights working, I think it's possible to do something like that today. Yeah, from what I hear, it looks like it's easy to do. Normally, the seawater you get into evaporates quickly, but that's where the special environment inside the ball comes into play. Of course, you'd have to replace it periodically, but I think it would last much longer in the ball, where time is 60 times slower than in the outside world. I agree with you, Carolina-san. I want you to leave the basic design of the ocean area to me. Huh? What? Is it happening? They're going to make an ocean on the ball? Good. Now we can go swimming all year round. It's decided. The girls agree, and there's no particular reason to refuse. In the future, the creation of an oceanic zone would expand the range of monsters that can be enslaved. Carolina-sama. This was right after we decided to establish the ocean area. Rust appeared out of nowhere and got down on her knees in front of Carolina. So, you're going to establish a sea zone. Would you allow me to be part of the project? Rust's expression was more serious than ever. Good. Rust is using the strategy of taking part in creating the ocean area to score points with Carolina. I wish she didn't have to go that far at all. I knew Rust was loyal to Carolina, so I'm not impressed by his overly subservient attitude. Believe me when I tell you we all are mutually accepting partners now. Worm. I warned you not to show yourself in my presence again. They don't accept each other at all. I quickly understood why Carolina was in a bad mood. Probably because the reverse rape case was still present in her head. I explained the details of the situation to her, but regardless of the circumstances, the fact is that Rust turned on me. I guess that's part of the reason why Carolina is still not convinced of this. Ugh. Please. Please. Give me a chance, Tilda. How terrible. Betraying the master is a capital sin that must be atoned for. Consider yourself fortunate to still have your life. Although Rust was crying on her knees in the Dejeza pose, Carolina seemed unable to give in. Once this happens, Carolina's stubbornness becomes apparent. I don't know if she would change her mind, even if I asked her to. Caro, do me a favor. Can you let Rust help with that? Got it. If that's what you want, Master. So fast. It didn't take her long to make up her mind. I've been thinking for some time now that Carolina is strangely willing to me. She makes me happy, really. But somehow, I feel bad for the other demons. I apologize, Case Hire. I owe you one. I won't forget it. I wonder if she was really happy with my intervention. Rust had a snotty nose, but she seemed grateful. Hey, Rust. Do you think that's enough? More than half the reason that incident happened is because I had ulterior motives. It's like Rust has been getting laxer and laxer lately. Chapter 120, Seawater Charge. After deciding to go to sea, it's the turn to decide who'll ride the wyvern. Last time it was Aphrodite who rode behind me, so this time I will choose from the other three girls. All right. Play the three of you rock, paper, scissors to decide who gets to ride the wyvern. I later realized that if you choose these things arbitrarily, there's a crack in the relationship and it's better not to do something like this. That's why I'm going to leave it completely to chance this time. Wait, 3 people is referring to me too? Of course. We're partners who have accepted each other. Don't give me any bullshit. How sad it is to have to ride with other men. Naturally, I have to decline. Ho. So you're going to refuse the master's kind favor? Rust refused vigorously, but a word from Carolina made him stiff. Foo. To tell you the truth, I've always wanted to ride a dragon. Naturally, I'm in. You changed your mind too quickly. I think you should have a little more pride as a man. Very good. Let's do it. Rock, paper, scissors. The announcement of the results. Well, I had a feeling this was going to happen from the beginning. Why is Rust so lucky in this kind of situation? It's a shame. Looks like it is not my turn, right? The atmosphere of the place had become instantly delicate when Rust won the rock-paper-scissors game. In particular, Carolina's view of Rust is becoming more somber. So, that would be, have fun, Rust. Damn. How sad is it to have to ride behind Case Hire? Rust, did you say something about the master? Well, I'm so happy. How happy this makes me. Did the absurdity of the situation affect you? A half-desperate Rust was jumping on the ground with great enthusiasm. 30 minutes later we were at the wyvern. We were heading for the beach where we were on our last mission to defeat the Kraken. There's nothing here to throw you off balance, making it easier to focus on the job. Kraken. I choose you. I summoned the Kraken and put it in the sea. It was a change from the near-death state it was in before. The Kraken was swimming in the sea. It seemed happy. How much more time do you need? I'm working on this as fast as I can. It's going to take at least 2 more hours. The members who are currently on the ball are working as hard as they can to create an ocean area. By the way, inside the ball is a collection of countless blocks. To put it simply, it's structured like a sandbox game. Carolina uses magic to destroy the blocks and the Goblin Knights take the remains. By repeating this sequence of operations, the plan is to blow a big hole in the ball. Naturally, I can't help with the work. Since I can't get into the ball, I'll just relax and watch the ocean until they're ready. And then, how long have I been looking at the ocean? After being like this for a while, I see a little creature emerging from the waves. Little turtle, LV15, range G, vitality, 15, strength, 10, magic, 5, mana, 5, skills, water magic beginner. Could that little fella be? I just remembered. That's the monster turtle that was attacked by a berserk shark earlier. If I remember correctly, its status match. So it's unlikely they're different individuals. The monster turtle lets out a nice little squeak when it comes over to my side. Apparently, it's not planning to attack me. Even if it was a trap to make me drop my guard, my opponent is only a G-grade monster. There seems to be no need to be particularly cautious. Are you hungry? Do you need to go to the bathroom? Are you asking me to follow you? Bingo. I don't understand what it's saying, but I can tell by the gestures. The monster turtle goes into the ocean with a boost as if to say I'm going first. Just that I had some time on my hands and it would be nice to kill the boredom. Could you use that diving spell you cast on me earlier? That's what I thought, so I asked Carolina to cast the immunity spell. And then I went after the turtle monster. Chapter 121, The Dragon Palace. Puku. I used diving magic to dive into the ocean. All right. The turtle monster was there. Hey, take it easy at least a little bit. When I dove into the sea, The monster turtle already seemed to be swimming far ahead of me. Kraken, help me. For the first time, the opportunity to play an active role outside of its skills presented itself. It may seem unattractive, but if you ride the Kraken, you'll be able to move faster than you can swim on your own. I used my contact skill and the Kraken came to me. Very well. Now all I have to do is hold on to this fellow's body and— what the hell? Narararu, narararu, narararu. The body of the Kraken, with its surface covered with mucous membranes, is slippery and there is no place to hold on to. Kraken. It's a bad choice even though this is a great opportunity for it. The only thing it's got going for it is the strength increase large dot. From now on, I'll call you strength increase large dot. Kaiyuki tilde. Maybe it could read my thoughts. The Kraken, whose face was as red as an octopus, seemed furious at first sight. Huh? Question mark. Wait. That's where something even more unexpected happened. No matter what I thought, the Kraken used its tentacles to hold me tight. The Kraken continued to follow the turtle monster at super speed. Ugh. This is disgusting. The Kraken's slimy tentacles are playing with every part of my body. Yes. I think I just discovered what it's like to be a fallen woman knight. Woman knight-san. So far, I'm sorry I doubted the you may say with your mouth that you dislike it, but your body feels it. Right? This slimy feeling is really nothing less than unpleasant. I honestly don't think there's any demand for this kind of fan service. Are we there yet? So, I must have been in the tentacles of the Kraken for about 10 minutes. Suddenly, freed of the Kraken's tentacles, I took a look around. Wow, what the hell is this? At that moment, I was speechless. The Dragon Palace. It's the Dragon Palace. It's about 30 meters high. It may be a little small to call a palace, but it's amazing that such a structure was built in the middle of the sea. Why on earth would there be a building here? Why? It was right after I had my doubts. The gates of the Dragon Palace opened slowly, as if inviting me to join them. Welcome to the Mermaid Castle. Lemus Littlefold. Sex, female. Age, 321. A girl came up to me. Lemus. So, that means this is the rumored demon that has the power to control the weather. It's short. She was less than 1.5 meters tall. Her face was young, and despite her age of 321, she felt just like Seal. Nice to meet you. My name is Lemus. Lemus Littlefold. People here call me Lemus the Mermaid Princess. I guess you're Little Turtle's benefactor. Yes. I think that's probably the case. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Oh, boy. Frankly, Lemus-san was an exceptionally beautiful girl. If I could bring her back to Earth, she'd be called a beautiful girl who appears every 1,000 years or something like that, and all kinds of media would be talking about it. Huh? Could it be that I have something on my face? No, not at all. Since the last incident with the Dragon Empress Kururu, I have had a personal distrust of princesses and empresses. I knew that a girl with the attribute of a princess had to be pretty. Come in. I would like to reward you, Suta-sama, for saving the little turtle. Oh, I get it. Despite her friendly face, Lemus-san is a renowned demon who was once a division commander in the Demon Lord's army. If you are someone who is concerned about security, you should not accept the invitation. But, nevertheless, he who does not risk, does not win. I don't want to waste the chance I've got to get close to a beautiful girl. With that thought in mind, I entered the Dragon Palace, or a modified version of it, the Mermaid Castle, while paying attention to my surroundings. Chapter 122, The Mermaid's Welcome. Tatsunoko Fighter, LV 2525, Grade C. Vitality, 188. Strength, 293. Magic, 118. Mana, 230. Skills, Water Magic Intermediate. As soon as I entered Mermaid Castle, a group of Tatsunoko fighters, more than 10 in all, jumped into my field of vision. The easiest way to describe the Tatsunoko fighter monster would be a seahorse with a lance. They're not very big, about a meter long, but each one has a fierce appearance. Oh, what is this? What is this place? Amazing. How can you build a building like this in the middle of the ocean? The level of technology is incredible. This is the Mermaid Castle where Lemus-sama lives? I've heard rumors about it, but I'm so excited to come here in person. Once inside the building, I decided to tell the girls at the ball for a moment and ask them to come out. No wonder the three of them are so impressed. The interior of the mermaid castle was designed with glass walls to allow visitors to admire the marine life. I felt like I was in an aquarium. The turtle I rescued took me to Mermaid Castle. I'd be lying if I said I didn't expect it, but I really felt I'd gotten into the history of Urashima Taro. It's been a while, Lemus. Yes, Carolina, you don't seem to have changed at all. It's kind of weird seeing you here, isn't it? Carolina and Lemus-san already knew each other? Lemus-san. She's such a famous demon that she even held the position of division commander of the Demon Lord's army, right? Who the hell is Carolina to be able to talk so casually to a person like that? Suta-sama, thank you for saving the life of one of my loved ones. No, as the saying goes, discourage the strong, help the weak. That's the belief I hold most dear. Yufufu. I guess I wasn't wrong after all. If it's you. What? Did you say something? No, it was nothing. Lemus-san shook her head to force a change of topic. By the way, Suta-sama, I am thinking of hosting a small reception in your honor today. Really? I can't wait. How will it feel to hold reception at the Mermaid Castle? It may be a harem party, with many beautiful mermaids like Lemus-san. Muka, this is a dream come true. Then I would appreciate it if you would take your time in this room until the reception begins. For this is, strangely enough, there was no seawater in the room Lemus-san led us. It was as if the entire room was under the spell of immunity. This room is made of a special mineral that can repel seawater. We thought that land guests would feel more comfortable here. By special mineral, could you be referring to the repellent stone? Yes, that's right. You seem to be well versed in it. It is almost impossible to extract repellent stone, and once processed, it is difficult to reuse. It's a valuable commodity that can be hard to find. And it's all over this room? Yes. Mermaid Castle was built over 1,000 years ago. From that time, it is said that the repellent stone was not a rare item in those days. Unbelievable. This room is like a jewelry box under the sea. With an unknown emotion, Seal entered the reception room. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Seal, with hearts in her eyes, starts rubbing her cheeks on the floor just like that. I'm sorry, our friend got a little rowdy. No, Well then, Suta-sama, I will go and complete the preparations for the banquet, so I will leave you alone. Please make yourselves at home. Mermaid, Grade S, LV 153, Vitality 1232, Strength 780, Magic 1320, Mana 1728, Blessing, Weather Manipulation, Skills, Fire Magic Intermediate, Wind Magic Intermediate, Water Magic Advanced, Dark Magic Advanced, Light Magic Advanced. Whoa. Lemus-san's appearance became that of a demon. Lemus-san, in her mermaid form, swam through the reception hall with greater fluidity than before. How nice. Mermaids are the best. The demons around me are completely humanoid, including vampires, wraiths, and succubi, so the figure of a mermaid monster girl is refreshing. Lemus' general status is high, partly because she served as commander of the Demon Lord's army. As for the numbers, I'd say she's at par or slightly below Carolina. I've heard rumors, but this is the first time I've seen a blessing other than absolute control. Chapter 123, Feast. Thank you for waiting. Everything is ready, please come to the banquet hall. So, after an hour of waiting in the reception room, we were called earlier than we expected, and Lemus-san took us to the banquet room with her. However, what was in the banquet room was, in a way, an unexpected sight for me. There's no food or anything like that. The interior of the banquet hall was built in such a way that seawater would not enter, as was the reception room. So far, so good. The problem is that there was nothing prepared on the table but empty pots and plates. None of that. We have plenty of food for you. With that, Lemus-san pointed at the sea through the glass. If you look closely, you can see that the sea is divided by a wall of glass. Come on, don't be shy. You can order all the fish you want. Don't worry. I see. So that's what this is about. In other words, the other side of this glass must be like a large-scale fish tank. Yufufu, with fresh seafood cooked and served on the spot, is the way the mermaids show their hospitality. I think it's an interesting experiment, but does this system really work? Isn't it hard to bring in fish when the tank is so big? It seems too inefficient if you have to dive into the tank every time you order your food. Okay, can we order now? I want tuna carpaccio, pond. Ooh, monkfish and sea urchin. Why you like that again? The ones you like. You only ordered dishes that seem to be very fine. Aphrodite doesn't care about cholesterol or anything else for being a self-proclaimed goddess of beauty. I feel the absurdity of life around the fact that she's still able to maintain excellent proportions. Understood. Order for you, Miss Customer. In the next moment, when Limas-san ordered it, numerous black shadows appeared in the tank. Tatsunoko Fighter, LV 2525, Grade C. Vitality 188, Strength 293, Magic 118, Mana 230, Skills Water Magic Intermediate. They're probably going about 100 kmph. The reason I could barely see through the true identity of the black shadows was probably because of my appraisal eyes skill. Good. Your order has arrived. What the hell? I had no idea it would take so little time. A Tatsunoko Fighter dressed in pure white cooks the ingredients that fall one after another through holes in the ceiling. Tatsunoko Fighters are amazing. The result: the food was delivered in front of us at a speed that made us feel like we were in a meat restaurant. It's delicious. Probably a good way to preserve it. The carpaccio was fresh, not only the tuna, but also the vegetables used. I didn't know monkfish tasted like this when eaten raw. The rich flavor that melts in your mouth is like eating foie gras. Now that I think about it, I think it's the first time I've eaten sea urchin and I thought it was delicious. The only sea urchin I've ever eaten was from a 100 yen sushi restaurant, and I personally didn't like the taste. This is what we've prepared for you. Is this? So Limas-san brought a bottle of clear liquid with her. I'm sorry, I'm underage, so I don't think alcohol is. No, number. It's called Tengu spring water and it's not like alcohol. So it's perfectly safe for underage people to drink it. Really? Let me explain. However presumptuous. Tengu spring water is a special drink that is passed down among the demon race. It's similar to alcoholic drinks, but the ingredients are different, so it's completely legal. What's with this convenient drink? But well, Carolina and Limas-san, who have lived longer than me, say it's not a problem, so I won't bother. I put the cup fearfully close to my mouth. Yummy. It's slightly sweet and has a refreshing taste. I've never tasted it before, but I guess that's how sake should taste. I was on a roll and kept guzzling Tengu spring water afterwards. Zouta. It's hot. So hot. Tilda, lying on a stone-cold floor makes me so happy. Carolina-sama, please forgive me. 1 hour later. Maybe it was the unknown drink, but we were ready to go. It's interesting to note the differences in the way each of us gets drunk. Aphrodite has a habit of tearing off her clothes when she's drunk. It seems that you could see a little more of the naughty parts, but it's a shame that you can't see the essential part. Seal is rolling around on the floor super excited. It's very problematic to feel drunk. As for Rust, she was crying upstairs, or maybe she was crying in the corner of the banquet hall. I feel a little sorry for her if she's still dragging the reverse rape case out of her mind. Did you like the food? While I was still eating, Limas-san came over to sit next to me. Yes, I've never eaten such good dishes in my life. Yufufu. That's good to hear. Now then, Suta-sama, please say Hey. What? Limas-san grabbed a piece of my food with her chopsticks and held it up to my mouth. I don't think that's a good idea. Although she is of age, on the surface, Limas-san is a beautiful high school age lily. It smells like a crime to be fed by such a beautiful lily. Don't be alarmed. This is part of the mermaid's hospitality. All right. If it's the mermaid's way, I don't blame her. Wherever you go, do what you see. There's no strange meaning in this. There's no strange meaning in this. I get it. The moment I tasted that bite, the most amazing thing happened. Yufufu. Suta-sama, you're so cute. I don't know what she was thinking, but Limas-san stroked my head. At that moment, what was projected into my mind was an overwhelming view of the great universe. The next moment after the beautiful blue comet landed on Earth, I was able to reach the truth of this world. Oh, yes, I finally understand. Limas-san is a girl who could be my mother. Mommy, I am so impressed that I dove directly into Limas-san's lap. No, number. You're wrong. This is just the effect of Tengu's spring water and high emotion, right? The more serious a person is, the more their character changes when they get drunk. Paradoxically, I guess I'm a superior student who wants to be spoiled by a girl when he's drunk. Excuse me, Not that I'm Suta-sama's mother. This is not good. Have I gone too far with this? The sudden start of the baby's play made Limas-san, as you might expect, feel a little inconvenienced. Mommy, number. Since we've come this far, I can't go back. I try to force my way through my best mommy attack while making my act look as drunk as possible. Wow, you're a spoiled kid, aren't you, Suta-sama? Successful operation. I guess my persistence made Limas-san finally accept the baby's play. From the first time I met her, I thought Limas-san was very mature and motherly despite her appearance. I guess the popular word to describe her is that she's a very maternal girl. Limas-san had a magical charm that made me want to be pampered when I was with her. Mommy. Yes, I am your mother. Caress. I was incredibly happy as I rested my head in Limas-san's lap. Suta-sama is a good boy. Would you like to go to sleep now? The drunkenness all over my body must have reached its limit. I rubbed my face on Limas-san's chest and let my conscience go. Chapter 124, Loss of Virginity SOS. When I opened my eyes, I found a roof over my head that I did not know. Wasn't I eating food in the banquet hall just now? How can I be in bed with only one pair of pants? Soon after, I rubbed my sleepy eyes and tried to lift my upper body. I became aware of my own imminent danger. What the hell is this? Why the chains? I was tied hand and foot, and I couldn't get out of bed. Suta-sama, you're already awake. Limas-san? I turned in the direction of the voice and saw Limas-san there with a charming smile on her face. Even if you ask for help, no one will come. I've been adjusting the concentration of Tengu's spring water to make the others fall asleep. What? With that said, I realized, shit, it was a trap. The calm atmosphere completely fooled me. Originally, Limas-san was one of the division commanders of the Devil Lord's army, just like Kururu. No wonder her true nature is that of an evil demon. Shit, how did I not realize how simple this was? We were successfully lured into the enemy's lair. Are you going to kill me? You are very clever, Suta-sama. I can't believe you know so much. What do I do? What should I do? With my hands tied like this, I can't even summon a monster from the ball. My cute Suta-sama. I'd like to eat you right now. Zozozo. A chill runs down my spine. At this point, what I had in mind was the mermaid ecosystem described in a novel I read earlier. According to the novel, the mermaids were all female and took the form of young, beautiful girls. When the mermaids used their beauty to seduce a human man, they would drag him to the bottom of the sea to feed on him. Suta-sama, I'm sure this will all be over soon, so if you don't mind closing your eyes. Damn it. You're going to show mercy to an enemy you're about to kill. You can't kill me that easily. What if I say no? It would be a bit embarrassing. Embarrassing? Yes. I've never told anyone that before. I wonder. This subtle feeling of not being able to make conversation. I think I saw a similar situation on a comedian's show on TV. Well, if you'll excuse me. Suddenly, Limas-san put her lips on mine. It is said that the first kisses taste like lemon, but the kiss with Limas-san had a slight taste of the sea. Yufufu. Well done. You kiss well too, Suta-sama. After the kiss was over, Limas-san rubbed my head. Mommy. There's no doubt about it. She's my mother. After all, Limas-san is my mother. Come on. I have to hold on. Have a strong conscience. I use my steel reasoning to keep my spirit from degenerating into a child. What the hell are you doing? Please be patient. I'll do my best to make you feel good, Suta-sama. As she declares that, Limas-san begins to take off the clothes she is wearing. Such naughty underwear. The revealing adult underwear is sexier when worn by the beautiful Limas-san. Feeling good? What do you mean? How bad you are. It's like Suta-sama said before. After she told me that, I realized the uncomfortable feeling in the back of my throat. Oh, you mean that one? I didn't know what that meant. It's the play, not the kill. I don't know if it is a Japanese play on words or something. Being in a desperate situation where you could lose your life, and it's become a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to lose your virginity. Why would you? With what little reason I had left, I asked her that question. I am more than willing to have sex with Limas-san, but I would like to at least ask her why. Can't you imagine, Suta-sama? I'm the only mermaid that lives in this castle. Strange for a castle that calls itself Mermaid Castle, isn't it? It's strange. If you ask me. At first I thought there would be many mermaids in the castle, but what greeted me were subordinates of Lemus-san, including the Tatsunoko fighters. What about the other mermaids? Dead. I'm the only survivor. Lemus-san told me more about the history surrounding the mermaid race there. The beautiful scales of the mermaids were an ornamental item that had been traded for a long time for a high price among humans. These scales were noticed by evil demon hunters. Demon hunting took the lives of many innocent mermaids. Naturally, Lemus-san used the blessing of weather manipulation to fight along with her companions. It was said that rumors about that time began to spread and Lemus-san became famous among the demon hunters. Good. Apparently, the mermaids of this world are basically good beings, unlike the mermaids in that novel I read. I'm a survivor of the mermaid race and it's my duty to ensure the survival of our species. That's why I want a son of Tsutasama. Yes, I understand. I feel that logic is a little rushed on some points, but I understand the gist of it. There are many twists and turns, but I wouldn't mind doing that kind of thing with a beautiful girl like Lemus-san. On the contrary, I feel too honored to lose my virginity to her. It was right after I had inflated my chest and another part of my body in anticipation. Master, are you all right? The door opened wide and Carolina came into the room. She must still be drunk. Carolina's walk was wobbly and far from what I would call stable. As expected from Carolina, the Tengus spring water I served with my food had its concentration adjusted so that once you drank it, you could not get up for several hours. But, shut up, Lemus. What the hell is this all about? What is it about? That's what it looks like. I'm going to try to make a baby with Tsutasama. No, I will not allow such a thing. Why should Carolina allow it? That's because I know Carolina is jealous, right? Because she's always been bad at communicating her feelings to others. It's quintessential Lemus-san to be able to catch up with Carolina in a verbal battle. You're wrong. I'm not saying this for such personal reasons. Lemus wouldn't know it, but the master is. Of course I'm aware of that. Tsutasama is closely related to that person, isn't he? So, are you crazy? So you know who the master is? As a mermaid, I can't afford to be picky. I prefer, if possible, to give birth to a strong child. I don't know what the two of them are talking about. Who is that person in the first place? What does it have to do with the person who was Carolina's first love, as I mentioned earlier? Okay, would you like to join us, Carolina? I wouldn't mind the three of us as long as I can have Tsutasama's child. Come on, she's saying something incredible, this girl. As for me, I have no objection. My first time being a threesome, it was a very preferable development for a man too. The rest is just a matter of Carolina's approval. Vampire, Grade S, LV 173. Vitality, 1732. Strength, 1240. Magic, 1520. Mana, 1428. Skills: Fire Magic Advanced, Wind Magic Advanced, Water Magic Advanced, Dark Magic Advanced, Light Magic Intermediate. Master, please wait. I'll get you out of this. She didn't seem to approve at all. Hey, Carolina. I don't need any help, so. Or rather, don't help me. It was right after I realized. Suddenly, a deafening sound begins to echo through the castle. What's going on? An intruder. Perhaps. It appears the castle's security system has been activated. Please stand by. I will project images onto the glass. After 2 minutes of waiting, an underwater image was projected on the transparent board. That's when I saw the person on the screen. I shouted those words. The figure approaching Mermaid Castle using diving magic was familiar. The Crow of the Twin Swords. Sorry, before I translate it as Raven, but it seems that it's Crow. The one standing there was the most unwelcome demon hunter who had been given the strongest job, the hero. Chapter 125 versus the Black Swordsman. Lemus, let me give you an advice. Leave the castle now and run away somewhere else. The first one to open her mouth in the middle of everything that was happening was Carolina. This castle is the last fortress of the mermaids. I can't let the demon hunters get hold of it. So, you'll fight? Of course. Mermaids always have, and always will. I know how Lemus-san feels. Mermaid Castle is over 1,000 years old, so to speak. This is the witness to the mermaid race. I will be clear, I'm afraid your forces can never compete with Crow, no matter how hard you try. Well, Could Caro know anything about this Crow guy? It's strange that Carolina is so cautious of others. Could it be that Crow is famous among demons? Yes, I fought him once before and lost. It has to be a lie. Right. I was surprised knowing that Carolina had fought Crow in the past. But what was even more surprising was that she had been defeated. Needless to say, Carolina's fighting ability is one of the best among the demons. I didn't think she would ever be behind a human, no matter that he had been given the job of hero. When did this happen? Not long ago. Before I met the master. Until then, I have been living in a demon village, but it only took one attack from that demon hunter for everything to fall apart. Could it be? When Caro was about to be sold by the slave merchant. That's right. That happened because I was defeated by Crow. I didn't know that. That was certainly something I'd been wondering about for a long time. How could a demon as incredible as Carolina be made a captive of the Slavers? But it's clear now. Fighting Crow is not a good idea at all. Being just one person, with his unfathomable power, Crow's ability allowed him to defeat multiple demons, including Carolina. The enemy is too much. We must retreat. No matter how strong they are, they won't change my mind. Either way, if we lose the castle, my men and I will have nowhere to go. Lee Miss-san looked determined. Think. What should I do? Even if we fought, defeat would be likely. No matter how much advantage we have at sea, the opponent is a Cheetah hero who can overwhelm even Carolina. No. There's only one person who can beat Crow. And that's me. I may not be able to win if I fight head-on, but we have the capsule ball, a divine skill that only takes one hit. It would be no different than Crow's cheat fighting skill. Well, then I'll take care of Crow. Therefore, I chose to borrow a skill with a great increase in strength. The bed was slowly raised while the chains that held my limbs were broken to pieces. I can't believe it. Those chains are made in a special way and are hard to break even for the higher rank demons. Thanks for the reaction. As expected. I started to feel embarrassed when I got so great. Master, if you could destroy them all the time, why didn't you stop Lima's plan sooner? Foo. I hate maids who are so perceptive. The big show was ruined by Carolina's retort. Chapter 126 versus the Black Swordsman 2. So, I had a quick strategy session with Lee Miss-san, and then decided to run to where Crow was. Master, maybe I can only stop Crow for a minute with my power. Well, if you can buy me a minute of time, that's enough. Spyfish, LV55. Grade G. Vitality, 13. Strength, 13. Magic, 13. Mana, 6. Skills, Water Magic Beginner. The key to this mission is the spyfish that Lee Miss-san lent me. Although the spyfish had a low status, its transparent body had the advantage of being difficult to find in the sea. I've come up with a plan that goes something like this. First, Carolina would get Crow's attention. Then, using my transformation skill, I would take the form of a spyfish and approach Crow from behind. The plan is to throw a capsule ball at him to catch him. There he is. As I swim transformed into the spyfish, I finally find my target, Crow. The boy, wearing a cape like a crow's plumage, was approaching Mermaid Castle with his diving magic. Tatsunoko Fighter, LV 2525, Grade C. Vitality, 188. Strength, 293. Magic, 118. Mana, 230. Skills, Water Magic Intermediate. Right now, Crow was surrounded by 5 Tatsunoko fighters. Push. It's no use. The 5 Tatsunoko fighters jumped on Crow at the same time. But then the next thing I knew, it was that something incredible happened. Are you kidding me? The blood red suddenly rises. The 5 Tatsunoko fighters had been dismembered before they could even scream from their deaths. Let me first say that the Tatsunoko fighter is not a weak monster. On the contrary, in underwater combat, they should have been able to compete with the Kraken. I won't forgive you. How could he do such a horrible thing? If you look closely, you'll see that the path Crow took was littered with the bodies of sea creatures. It's been a long time, Crow of the Twin Swords. Ho! Your face looks familiar. Crow murmured with a look of admiration when he saw the figure of Carolina. How strange. the master of vampires. Carolina Burton, shouldn't you have been given to the slaveholders at St. Bell? I will avenge my brothers and sisters who were killed by you here and now. Carolina attacked. She used wind magic to move across the ocean in all directions. As expected from Carolina, with the skill of wind magic advanced, Carolina is able to move at super speed even on the sea. No matter how you call yourself Crow, you will never be able to handle this speed. Do you think you're going to cause me any trouble with that kind of magic? He smiled smugly, and then countless whirlpools formed around Crow. Wind magic super. Mega tornado. Be honored. This is the first time I've shown this magic to a demon. Emerging whirlpools merge into one. Eventually, they all come together to form a single great tornado. Boo. The tornado swallowed up all the creatures around it and grew like a snowball. Even Carolina, a master of wind magic, could not escape the tornado's pull. Trapped in the vortex, Carolina's body begins to fill with wounds. Damn it! I want to disable my transformation skill right now and beat the crap out of Crow. But now it's time to be patient. I'll get a little closer to Crow while Carolina holds his attention. I don't understand. What are you trying to do? He has absolute confidence that he can defeat her at any time if he feels like it. Crow disappeared the tornado and approached the injured Carolina. I know you're not stupid. You must have realized in the last battle that I'm no match for you. This is bad. Crow is aware of our strategy. We can't afford to wait for an opportunity. I have to get close and finish the job. No. I went up to Crow at full speed, pulled the ball out of my mouth and pressed it against his neck. Yeah, right on target. In any case, the piece of Mermaid Castle has been preserved. I feel I've added an extra person to my team, but I'll think about how to handle it later. Kyukaku. I'll make sure you get what you deserve for hurting Carolina. Huh? What? What's going on? Huh? Why? What's wrong? Grasping the capsule ball in his right hand, Crow tilted his head in wonder. He didn't repel it or use his clothes to cover himself. It must have made direct skin contact, and it still couldn't catch Crow. I see. So your name is Case Hayasuta. What did he say? What did he just say? If I'm not mistaken, I think I heard my name. Interesting. What kind of thing do you have that can defeat me? There's no doubt about it. Crow is aware of my presence. How did he find out? My transformation skill must have been perfect. It may have looked strange swimming in the body of an unknown fish, but that alone would make it impossible to identify my name. Magic Eye. It's a skill compatible with your appraisal eyes. It looks like you've turned into a demon, but it shows me your name. That's not good at all. Retreat. Retreat. I put Carolina back on the ball at full speed and ran away from Crow. What are you, an idiot? You can't run away from me. Move. I didn't think it was possible, so I turned around and saw Crow grabbing my tail. This guy. What kind of fish am I supposed to be? The distance between us must have been about 10 meters when I last checked. How fast can he move? I see. I couldn't see your condition from afar, but this explains it. So you were going to use that absolute control blessing to keep me on the ball. He knows. I see. I do see. I may know what skills a demon possesses, but I can't say the same about a human. But his magic eye is capable of seeing even a human who is using the transformation skill. It wasn't a bad strategy, but it's a shame. The power of the chosen one I possess overrides all skills. Therefore, your ruse was meaningless. Crow. May I say just one thing? Nerf that cheating effect. Cheat gear, cheat swordsman, cheat magic, cheat skills, cheat blessings. You're one of those. You're the protagonist of a high school fantasy novel. By the way, my question is, if I apologize, would you let it go? I'm already clear that there's no way this is going to work out. Maybe the two of us being summoned from Japan to this other world will be able to help me. I went back to my old self and begged for my life. It's not possible. How am I supposed to let someone who favors demons to live? This guy is serious. When it comes to killing, he's not gonna hesitate to do it. Come to think of it, he's been that way ever since he beat those A-rank adventurers in the town of St. Bell. A battle-hardened maniac who thinks human life is nothing but a bunch of worms. A psychopath. I guess that's the nature of this man. Crossed Ryuki. Game time is over. Become the rust on my sacred sword. Oh, wait. Does a high school student my age really have such crazy personality? It's hard to believe. Normally, High school boys would be at an age when they're only interested in what a high school girl's skirt looks like. At that point, a single possibility crossed my mind to beat Crow. Right before his sword was about to fall, I decided to take a chance on that idea. Chapter 127 versus the Black Swordsman 3, Transformation. Rust tries Artie. What are you doing now? After I transformed into Rust, the magic sword stopped just before it could reach me. Crow's magic sword stopped just before it was supposed to. Ah, I knew it. Apparently, my assumption was completely correct. I think I've found his weakness. Now that I think about it, there were a lot of things that weren't quite right from the beginning. No matter how you were summoned to another world and given the skill to cheat, would a Japanese like me suddenly become a murderer? The answer is number. People can't change that easily. Then how is it that Crow is able to kill people without hesitation? The clues will come to you if you watch him. First, the two swords, the sacred sword and the magic sword. He's a Chunibyo. No sane person would equip them without feeling even a little bit of shame. This could only have been a coincidence. But then there's the black cloak that resembles a crow plumage. And to top it all off, he has a great sense of name, calling himself Crow even though his real name is Cross. Yes, so Kyovo is not a ruthless combat enthusiast. It was just an otaku. TN. Do you guys use other word to refer to otakus? A video game addict. It's not uncommon for a compulsive video game addict to take on the role of a battle maniac in a game. I'm not going to lie, I experienced something similar when I was in high school. What's the matter? Weren't you going to try to kill me? Of course I will. You'll be the rust on my magic sword. If I'm right, Crow can't cut me being into the shape of a woman. A childish face and the good body of Rust like an anime character is precious to us otakus. If Crow really hated demons in the first place, he would have killed Carolina. Maybe Crow was a lonely video game otaku who had never been exposed to girls when he lived in Japan. Although he plays a psychopathic battle maniac, deep down he has not been able to overcome his lack of experience with women. Relax. I'm gonna let you touch my breasts. I took Crow's left hand and put it on my chest. It's weird to be in a woman's body and have a man rub your breasts, but I've done this before with Rust. Our lives are at stake. Rub, rub, rub. I could see Crow's face getting redder and redder with every time he rubbed my breasts. You bastard. Can't you see it's crazy, Tilda? But you're really happy, aren't you? Don't be stupid. I know what you are. Who would be happy to rub a man's chest? Is that blood on your nose, Tilda? Oh. But what a surprise. I've never seen a guy get so excited that he gets a bloody nose or something in real life. It's funny because when you get a nosebleed in the ocean, a red line goes up to the sky. HMPH. I'm tired of this. Let's call it a day. It looks like he's dropping cold lines, but Crow's face is as red as a tomato. Definitely. This guy's a virgin like me. Well, a win is a win anyway, right? So, the battle with the strongest man and hero comes to an end in the most horrific way possible. Chapter 128. The Sixth Companion. Caro, are you okay, Master? What about Crow? Where's Crow? After the battle was over, first I decided to run to Carolina, who had been damaged by Crow's magic. Yeah, it's okay. I made Crow go away. Really? So that means that you managed to defeat Crow? Yes, although it was a bloody battle. But don't worry about that. Just rest on the ball, Master. She must not have been able to take all the stress anymore. Carolina, who had tears in her eyes, buried her face in my chest. What should I do? Surely Carolina is imagining the moving final scene of me defeating Crow after a fierce battle. The atmosphere that formed prevented me from opening my mouth to say anything. Suta-sama, thank you so much for fighting for me. I don't know how to thank you, Lemus-san. I knew immediately that Lemus-san was sad, even though her voice would not let anyone see it. I'm sorry. I was too hasty. No, number. It's not your fault, Suta-sama. This is all because of a terrible choice on my part. I am a fool. If I had taken Carolina's advice, this would not have happened. What are you going to do now, Lemus-san? Now that I've lost my friends, there's no reason for me to stay at Mermaid Castle. I'm thinking of traveling around the world for a while to find a new home. That's the line, right? You're gonna have all the time in the world, right? Lemus-san. Could you turn around for a moment, if you don't mind? Lee. Like this? Yeah, that's perfect. Here you go. The capsule ball suddenly emitted a dazzling light and absorbed Lemus-san's body into it. As a result, before long, Limus-san's body was completely inside the small capsule ball. Oh my! What could this be? Where am I? As expected from Limus-san. The ones I've caught so far have always shouted let me out, but Limus-san doesn't seem to have been upset at all. Nice, nice. In any case, there's only one thing I can say now. Princess Mermaid got. Chapter 129. Epilogue. Air conditioning installation. Min. It was the middle of summer in this other world, Adelaide. The cicadas climbing the trees in the garden were singing as if they were harassing me. But, nevertheless, I'm no longer as miserable about the heat as I was in the past. I felt as if I were in an air-conditioned room with the temperature set at 18 degrees Celsius. Now this is the life. Apparently, Limus-san, who could control the weather at will, could also adjust the temperature of the room at will. With Limus-san as our partner, we'll be able to live comfortably in the summer months. But she had one thing that was decidedly different compared to an air conditioner. Fun. Yeah, Limus-san. Oh my, you're still a spoiled boy, isn't you, Suta-sama? It comes with a feature that allows you to be pampered all you want. Overwhelmingly casual, being in an air-conditioned room lying on the lap of a lalai was an irreplaceable pleasure. Damn, this Suta. You're making Limus-chan treat you like a child again. While I am being pampered by Limus-san, Aphrodite enters the room and sulks like a rice cake. You fun. What do you think? If you insisted, I'd have no choice but to let you sleep in my lap. Yes. No, don't bother. You don't have that maternal side. What? Maternal? What do you mean, maternal? To put it bluntly, this is the phenomenon of feeling the motherly side of younger girls and wanting to be pampered. But if you explain it seriously, you will inevitably be seen as odd. The only thing I could say about this was that you googled it. Carolina. What the hell is this maternal side Suta keeps talking about? To tell you the truth, I don't know what it is either. But I can say one thing, if you can analyze the extent of the word maternal, you might be able to win the heart of the master. Small incision, when you say maternal you are actually using the word babumi, which is used to explain the maternal feeling evoked by certain characters, but this has to be a relatively new term in Japanese culture, since 2014 or so that's why it must be unknown to them for Aphrodite and the others. HMPH. This is case higher. Obviously it can't be any good, anyway. Right. Rust. Yoko. I need to talk to you in private. Come to my room later. I was in the middle of falling asleep in Limus-san's lap. You could hear the girls in the mansion talking about something. With the addition of Limus-san, our daily life was going to become more and more animated.